Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to our Vision 2022 Masterclass. My name is Kate, and this is my husband, Anthony, and we are so excited to be honored to kick things off with you all today. I've been watching the chat, and I can see so many different countries and areas represented around the world, which is so special. So welcome. I would love, just while people are still logging in, we've got over 2,000 people registered to be a part of this with us today, which is incredible. I would love you to share in the chat, what's a feeling or emotion that you have right now? Might be you're a bit excited, you're a bit nervous, joy, inspired, anxiety, that's okay, connected, gratitude, ignited, excited. Oh, I'm just goosebumpy. This is amazing. Incredible. So I want to set the tone to help all of you get the most out of this experience with us today. I know some of you, I can see there's groups that have come together in people's homes, which is amazing. Some of you might be flying solo. Some of you might have little ones around your ankles as well. And so I really want to encourage you just to try and eliminate as many distractions as possible. Turn that phone on mute, get rid of the notifications, try and just really tunnel vision with us on your life. Because most people don't actually take time out like you are today to actually do this. So first of all, I want to honor you, because for most people, we get caught up in the busy of life, right? We get caught up in being busy, and rarely do we slow down and take time to think about the life that we want to create. Now, Anthony's going to be speaking in a second, but I just thought we would bring him on straight away. I'm
delighted to be here.
Yeah.
I'm the only fella. I said this morning, I'm the thorn amongst 4 beautiful roses, and I'm just grateful for that. I'm renowned to be a talker, since I'm just sitting here very controlled, and I'll get my part to play later. But I just want everyone to acknowledge what a significant thing you've done right here. Mm-hmm. And in fact, if you just, I can see you, right? So if you just raise your arm up really straight like this, that's it. No, straighter. I can see you, Beverly, all the way elbow as well, all the way up. And then just bend at the elbow and just give yourself a pat on the back, because this is really powerful that you're taking time out to sharpen the sword, so to speak. Mm. So when you step back into life, you can be a better husband, a wife, a mother, a lover, and whatever you want to be. Like, this is going to impact on every single area of your life. So thanks for having me a part of this.
So today, the incredible leaders that you will hear from, they're going to be sharing with you a proven recipe that, despite all that has happened in the world over the last 2 years, has allowed them to create more abundance, more health, more joy, more freedom and choices in their lives, and not only their own lives, but the lives of all the people that they get to coach and mentor all around the world. And this is exciting because if I look at the years of personal development and investment that they've made in their own lives, we're helping you fast track today what has taken, for some of us 20 plus years to really refine. But what we know is if you apply this, your life will never be the same again. And who set a goal in the past and you've been all guns blazing and I'm going to do it, and then you've failed miserably? Pop a 1 in the chat for me if you've been there. Yeah, we've all done that. We've all done that. And I'd love to know who's maybe done a goal setting experience at the beginning of the year and been like, here's what I'm going to do and achieve. And you're on this massive high. And then on the flip side of it, a week later, you kind of come crashing down back to reality. And then we actually stop taking action towards it. Can you pop a 2 in the chat if you maybe done that before as well? Okay. There's a lot of us. And I've totally been there myself. Well, I'm excited to share with you that today will be nothing like that. Nothing like you've ever done before. And you're going to be able to walk away with a crystal clear vision based around your values, what matters most to you, and not living life based on other people's opinions. Because some of us, maybe we've set goals in the past and it's actually not been us setting it. It's been, I need to set that goal to impress that person, to make that person love me, or so that I'm approved, so my parents, can give me the tick of approval. We've all done that in some way, which is often why it's not sustainable for us as well. And so I'd love you to listen to these 3 types of people and maybe share into the chat where you feel you sit. Person A feels a little bit jaded right now. I mean, if you think about the last 2 years in the world, it's totally understandable if you don't really feel like you have a vision for your future. There's been a lot of uncertainty thrown at us. And I know for me, I look at certain times in my life where I just didn't have the headspace or the inspiration to want to dream again or play a bigger game. I knew there was more for me, but I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to get there. So I thought, let's not even bother. So person A, you're just feeling a bit jaded right now, and that's okay. Maybe person B, maybe you're B, where you've got a bit of a vision of what you'd like, but you don't really know the recipe and how to attract that to you and really get into your flow. So you kind of know, but there's still like so much unknowing and uncertainty. Or you're a C, where you already have a vision, but you're looking to refine it and make it even more powerful. I would love you to share where you feel you're at right now, A, B, or C. Amazing. And regardless of where you sit right now, today is going to be perfect for you. Absolutely perfect. So don't feel like, I should have hope, or I should be this, or don't worry about any of that. Put it all aside. It really doesn't matter where you're starting from. It matters that you're starting, and that is the most important thing. So just one little bit of housekeeping before we really kick into the content of today. If this Zoom line maxes out, which it most likely will, we have a Facebook community that we are live streaming the content into as well, and you'll be able to catch the replay as well. So if you happen to have friends or guests that you've invited on to be a part of this, and you aren't able to, they aren't able to log into the Zoom, please let them know of this link as well. And like I said before, eliminate the distractions, really give yourself the time and focus today, because I know this will set you up for an incredible year ahead. So I am one big goosebump for what will unfold today. I'm going to jump out of the way, and Anthony's going to share some amazing insight with you as well. And I will be back a little bit later on.
So all change happens usually not how we think it's going to happen. And what I mean by that is, who's ever tried to think their way out of problems? You've tried to really use your logical, analytical mind, and I'm a glutton for this. And the truth is, so much transformation, so much change happens with ease, with flow, with grace, and we just need to know how to tap into it. And so I am just so honored and excited for the content that you're going to be given over the next few hours, but also the revelations you're going to make. And so because so much of our change happens not in our self-conscious mind, our thinking mind, it happens in our unconscious, in our feelings, that also in our superconscious. And so I want to make sure that you stay right till the end, because if you've ever had a recipe, you're given this incredible recipe, think of your most delicious cake you'd love to have, and you've got the method, you've got the recipe, and you go all the way through, but then at the very last part, you don't follow the final step. You don't put the last ingredient in. So it's really important that as you go through today, stay right till the end. And actually, we have a little gift for you. We've got a one-on-one coaching session we'd love to give away by whoever you resonate most with from the presenters today. So we're all going to donate our time, and whoever you would love to hear from, but you need to be on at the end when we announce that. So we've got a cool little way. We're going to pick someone randomly to go through that. And so what I'd love to do before I hand over to the other amazing ladies is just go through a little meditation or a closed eye process, call it what you will, but it's just going to allow you to dissipate distraction, get really present, and start allowing. Would you agree, when you look around, when you look at nature, there's just such an abundance. And we as humans in our thinking brain put all these limitations and create such scarcity. And so today you're going to have a chance just to dream again, to get really clear, know who you are, what your values are, get out of this problem solving structure where we think we've got to fix stuff, and just realize you're the predominant creative force of your life. And you actually get to create whatever you would love to create. And I'll go so far as to say, if you think for a moment, everything you have in your life right now, you created it to some degree. And that can both be confronting, because it's like, oh, I don't like parts of my life. But it can also be incredibly encouraging and exciting to go, well, where I'm headed, I get to create. In fact, when you look at the word present, so this present moment here was pre-sent. Who sent it? Pop in the comments. Who sent this moment? Who created this moment for you? Yeah, it's you. And it's both it's heavy, because it's like, I have responsibility. I can't just shame and blame my problems away. But it's also exciting, because when you get so crystal clear on who you are, what you love to create, and then the coolest thing, we're going to get rid of the resistance of anything towards that. And you'll actually realize you can create more and bigger and better than you've ever done in the past. And it will become flow-like, because you're not doing this to appease anyone else. So without further ado, let's going to go through a little closed eye process. And if you're a bit like, oh, this is foo-foo, I totally get it. Most of you, I think if you're on the line, you love this stuff anyway, but just allow. And so if you just sit back in your chair there, and you take a couple of nice deep breaths, and you just allow your eyes to close, and you're just going to feel good. So go ahead and close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, and you're going to decide to become blue mist. So imagine you can become blue mist. That's it. And just start as blue mist moving across the ground. So do your best to imagine it. Just imagine it, your blue mist speeding across the ground. And the faster you get, the brighter the blue becomes. That's it. And up ahead, you'll see there's a tunnel. You can see it. It feels good. And you know that's where you've got to go. Now, the tunnel has a sign on it. It says, "This way to the land of plenty." And you fly as blue mist towards the tunnel, and you go into the tunnel. It's a big, spacious, open tunnel. And as you're flying through this tunnel as blue mist, you can feel the air flowing against your face. You are blue mist going faster and faster and faster through this tunnel. It is dark and you're lighting up the whole tunnel. You are blue mist flying through the tunnel. That's it. And the faster you go, the bluer you get. You are just so blue. And you're shining so bright, it's hard to know where you start and where you end. Just imagine it. And as you're flying through this tunnel, you know you're getting closer to the land of plenty, where you have everything that you desire. And you're going to see it, and you're going to feel it, and you're going to know it without any judgment. It is there. You will simply just witness it. So you're excited and you want to go faster and faster. You want to get to your land of plenty. You want to know what is there. You are blue mist just flying through this tunnel. The tunnel starts to angle up at 45 degrees and you get faster and even faster. And it's interesting to wonder what is in your land of plenty, your vision, if you will. And you just get that good feeling you're going to really get to do something that's going to make a difference. You're so excited and you're flying up and you're blue mist and you're flying up and up and up. And as you're up, and as you get to the end, there is a big opening, a big spacious opening. You are blue mist and you're going to come flying out into the open air. You're flying out as blue mist, flying out of the tunnel, and all of a sudden, you're transformed back into you and you land safely back as you, and you get a symbol. And you're in your land of plenty. If you got that symbol, just lock that away, what that was. That's it. You're in your land of plenty and you notice what's there. Just notice what's there. Have a good look around. Witness what's true. That's it. That's it. Witness what is there. Notice what is true. If you're not getting anything, notice how you feel. Start with your feelings. Start with your feelings. Whatever you plant here will grow. Whatever you plant here will grow plenty. What are you going to plant? What is it that is already growing? What do you love? What do you really love? And as you continue to see and feel and take in all this, that will be your vision that you'll craft over the next couple of hours. You just go ahead and open your eyes and come back, and maybe take a moment just to jot down any symbols, any little visions, what was in your land of plenty. We're just going to take about 30 seconds to do that as we hand over to Kira. She's going to start to walk you through this beautiful process. And as we do that, if you would like, pop into the comments what you just experienced, what you saw, so that you can start to bring to light what it is. So a beautiful meadow. So just get, guys, if you are have people around, if you have distraction, that's okay. This is being recorded. Again, this is a recipe. The beautiful thing about a recipe is what? You can recreate it whenever you want. This will be a resource for there. But we've got Mind Movie, you've got Earth, Joy, Valley Full of Trees, a lot of nature. Love it, love it, love it. So we are going to jump over to Kira. There you are. It's all yours, girlfriend.
Thank you. Well, welcome everybody. I want to welcome our first timers here if you didn't join us last year for this masterclass, and I'm really excited for you because you're going to be taken on a really transformational journey today and hear from some really incredible leaders that personally inspire me so much for what is possible. And I also want to welcome those of you who are returning for round 2. I just want to remind you that this is your chance to really integrate and embody this wisdom even deeper into your being so that you can continue to magnify the power of your divine vision statement. So it is something that you do want to return to year on year. I also want to invite you to really tune in and lean into your own inner truth and wisdom today, and just trust that you have all of the answers inside of you. Really try and resist, as Kate mentioned before, comparison and also loyalty ties to what other people want you to be or think you should be. I really want you to come home to yourself today. And as Kate mentioned, commit to the process, surrender, because you are going to get out of this the exact proportion of what you put into this. So the more that you invest in this, the more power and magic is going to unfold from this for you. So definitely try and minimize those distractions, but also commit to the follow-up and the homework, because that's where the work is really going to be done outside of this masterclass. This masterclass is going to put you in the driver's seat of possibility. If you want to create something new that you have never held or experienced before for your future, you cannot look to your past for evidence in order to create it. You need to look to your future to create your future. And that is where the power lies in this divine vision statement. I can promise you that this is probably one of the most profound and transformational tools that I've ever implemented in my life, one of the most important investments I've ever made with my time. I've spent the past 15 years doing personal development, and it all has its place and meaning and magnificence. I've learned many ways of doing mission statements. I've applied lots of different tools in my life, and this by far has been, for me, the most transformational. It also came into my realm, into my life, at a period of my life where I was facing my greatest fears and challenges, divine timing and intervention. And this was a really pivotal moment for me. And what could have been a time where the fear caused the kingdom I had built and everything I had worked so hard on and put so much love and passion into, it could have crumbled around me in this moment. But because I became very directed and intentional with my focus, because of the purpose that I read every day in my vision statement, in this time of chaos and uncertainty, I was able to bring myself clarity. I was able to wake up on the days where I didn't want to get out of bed for me and bring myself into alignment and find the inspiration, because there was a purpose in my life that was so much greater than me, that was outside of me. And so this time that could have been the most challenging, and was probably one of the most challenging of my life, actually became the most expansive and creative time of my life thus far. And I'm sure I will have many to come, hopefully not for challenging reasons. But it is that powerful. It is going to be your manuscript that pulls you into alignment each day when you feel like you got off track, when you fell down, when you didn't show up as your highest self, when you don't feel like showing up as your highest self. This is going to bring you back into alignment. Now, what you focus on this year is going to expand, and that is the power of intention. So we're going to take you through a process where you can get really clear, not only on your mission and your soul's purpose, but what your values are and your desires, so that your divine vision statement is not only very clear, but very intentioned and meaningful to you. Okay, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks and feels about it. It's about lighting you up with purpose and inspiration. There are some beautiful mentors on here today. I'm sure you'll have lots of mentors come and go in your lifetime, but it is you who is going to change your life. It is you who chooses to implement this, to practice it each day, and how much energy you pour into this. And I really hope for you that you take hold of this and you make it your own, and that you really invest in seeing this through, because I know the magic that it holds for you. So what is a divine vision statement? Let's get clear on this first, and then we're going to get straight into the work. Your DVS, I'm going to shorten it. It's your way of holding yourself accountable every day to your highest self, your vision of your future, and it allows you to lead yourself. If we do not self-lead and choose with intention the context of our life and our future, it chooses itself. It chooses itself. So I want to share a really powerful context with you to kick off. And I encourage you to come back and journal on this later, because the self-awareness that can come from this can really shed some powerful light that, and Anthony's going to delve a little bit more into this later as well. So if you think, oh my gosh, I really just had some aha moments, we're going to circle back to it, but I definitely want you to journal and think about this later. We all exist with self-fulfilling prophecies. Self-fulfilling prophecies, they're silent, they're unseen, and they do not require any energy from you, any action, or any of your personal power in order to fulfill themselves. There are global scale self-fulfilling prophecies, and there are self-fulfilling prophecies that are more unique to your ancestral heritage, so closer to home. Other words for this are codings, patterns, undercurrents is the word that I like to use. So we exist, all of us, with these subconscious undercurrents in our life. And as I said, they're silent. I'll give you some examples of some global scale undercurrents that will require a collective conscious shift in order to make a shift. So we think about racial inequality, gender inequality, sexual orientation. These are some of the undercurrents that we are pushing against as the human collective right now. And then if we think on a more unique, closer to home scale, your undercurrents might be generational. So for example, all of the women in our family generationally are overweight, insert whatever, single moms, not financially intelligent. Another one might be if your parents had poor money habits or a negative money mindset, or perhaps they went bankrupt, then the high chance or probability is that you have been coded with a loyalty to that. And so the challenge with these undercurrents is that if we are not aware of them, we get swept up in them and we don't even know. And this is what creates our destiny, these undercurrents, because we're getting pulled into that flow. And so unless we create a self-led, self-fulfilling prophecy, where we are very intentional about the energy that is causing the direction of our life, we cause the effect. We are the energy that steers the ship. We are the captain. Unless we do this, unless we rewrite the tides, then we are just going to keep recreating our past cycles. Okay? So your divine vision statement is a powerful daily recoding session or coding session. It is your preparation for creation every day, and it becomes your way of being, okay? So I love this quote, and it sums it up perfectly. Your beliefs become your thoughts, okay? And a lot of those beliefs are subconscious, okay? We're not always conscious of them. Your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. So your divine vision statement is, we are going to be very conscious about the language that we choose, because this language is going to take form. It's going to come to life. Okay, so your beliefs and thoughts are going to create the language in your document. The language is going to create inspired action. The inspired action is going to form some new, healthier habits. These habits are going to form values or align with your values. And those values are what create your destiny. And we're going to do it with intention. So you're going to be the architect of everything you create from here forward. As Anthony said, that can be daunting for me. That's where I find my personal power, in knowing that I am in co-creation with the universe and what my future looks like. And so if I don't like something in my life, I get to change it, right? And so this, and one thing I want to share with you is, currently as a human collective, we have this habit of waking up each morning, and the second you open your eyes, you're already in disempowering thoughts. You're thinking about bills, you're thinking about going to work, you're thinking about the argument that you had with your partner last night, problem focus, right? And how we wake up sets the tone of our day. So when you wake up to an empowered vision that you have curated so consciously for your future, you set that tone and state and energy for your entire day. So imagine the kind of day that you create from that place, as opposed to thinking about the problems, right? All of a sudden you're in solution and creation mode from the moment you wake up. And it also resets. So if you screwed up yesterday, you yelled at the kids, you were crabby, you did something that you weren't proud of, this is your reset and calling yourself back to your highest self. So a personal mission statement becomes the DNA for every other decision we make. Creating and integrating your mission statement is one of the most important investments that you can make with your time. Now, it might be called a mission statement, life manuscript, life visioning process. I like vision statement because I'm visioning my future. That's what works for me. Insert whatever works for you. I want to clarify one thing, because we're going to work on both of these in your vision statement. Your mission is your soul's purpose and why you are here. Your mission is your soul's purpose, right? It is your calling. Your vision is where you aspire to be on living out your mission. So what is the energetic exchange that you receive from your service to the world? Is your vision. So your mission is your purpose and calling. Your vision is what you receive in return. Your statement is going to allow you to define your values and what success and abundance looks like to you. Success to one person and what it looks like to them may be very different for you. So it's important to not just get pulled along with the world of, like, there's a lot of consumerism is success right now in the world. That's a lot of focus. If that doesn't light you up and inspire you into action, then that is not your personal vision and of abundance, okay? So it's important that we really get clear so that we can articulate clearly what it is that we really truly want and what matters most to you personally and professionally. When we do this, the decisions, the hard decisions, your yeses, your nos become so easy and so clear. It is so easy to move towards the things that move you closer, and it's easy to say no and walk away from the things that are not serving the vision of your future. So we're going to guide you today on how to create a truly inspiring document. But before we do that, I want to share one thing with you. One person's sole purpose is not more magnificent, more great, more impactful than another. And this is where I need you to be true to you and come home to yourself. There is no point in writing things in your statement like, I'm going to open 5 orphanages in India because you think that it's politically correct, right? If that, it doesn't move you or isn't in the realm of your possibility or thought process, then please do not write it. What if you, being the most soul-led, connected, healed, present, loving mother, passes the light to your daughter and she is the one who impacts the world? Because instead of dealing with generational trauma, she is whole and clear with her purpose, and she's the one that impacts on a global scale. Never underestimate the ripple effect of you staying in alignment with your soul's purpose in the season of life that you are in. Okay, it's really important. And as we work through our statement, I'm going to help you connect your calling and your purpose financially to your soul's calling and purpose. If you resonate with something like that, like being a present, connected mother, if it's closer to home, your soul's purpose. Okay, so before we jump into the exercises, I want you to flip over to this sum of success, because I want you to be very clear on what the code for creation is so that you guys can become superpower creators in your life. So this is the creation code. The sum of success is intention plus effort plus grace equals creation, right? What it is that you desire. So your DVS document is going to condition your body for creation every day and a high vibrational outcome in your life. Frequency or energy precedes form. So what we think and feel about emits and draws in energy, okay? And this is what creates our reality. So how we think and feel on the inside is always reflected in our external reality. So your innermost dominant thought is creating your external outermost dominant reality. So how you think and feel creates this magnetic field that draws what you're thinking and feeling about to you. So what we think sends out the frequency, and what we feel draws back to us the thing that we're thinking and feeling about. So the step one of this equation is intention. Your intention is the loudest voice in your head, okay? So the best way to describe it that I have ever heard that works for me, that you want to cultivate intention around, and as you do it more and more and you practice this intention of 1 foot in gratitude, 1 foot in desire, 1 foot in gratitude, 1 foot in desire. Because if we have 1 foot in lack and 1 foot in desire, we are sending out a frequency of lack, and so we are drawing lack and scarcity and fear back to us. And I'll give you an example of this. You can all think of the unlucky person around you who have labeled themselves and claimed the identity of I'm always unlucky, right? And so they desire to be lucky. Okay, just making sure, thank you. So we're looking at this page here, the success sum. So they desire to create more luck in their life, but they're attached to this identity that I'm unlucky. So the frequency that they're actually admitting is one of not being lucky, okay? So 1 foot in gratitude of where you are, the abundance you already hold, and already feeling grateful for your desire as if you already had it, whilst creating intention of where you want to be, okay? That is the intention feeling that you want to embody when you're doing your divine, when you're reading and embodying your divine vision statement and creating. Now, the next step is effort. This is the step that The Secret missed, okay? And that's why they came out with sequels. Unfortunately, it's not just sit and meditate and think about the dream house and then it falls in your lap. You actually have to display to the universe that you are capable of holding the dream home when it lands in your lap. And you do this through inspired action. You have to move towards the dream. You can't just stand still. So when you take action, not only are you moving towards it, but it starts magnetizing towards you at the same time. You start causing the effect. So the next part of the equation is grace, frequency, God, universe. Insert whatever feels good for you, where your heart is open to receive this information. I'm using universe on here today because it's universally accepted, but if God feels better for you, then lean into that. Now, when you display through effort that you can hold the very thing, the universe starts setting synchronicities up for you. And so all of a sudden, opportunities and things start showing up in your realm, and the people and the things that start actually drawing you towards that destiny that you want to create. So I'll give you an example. If my intention is to expand my property portfolio this year, I'm grateful for where I am, the abundance I have, and I'm grateful for what that's going to feel like when I get there, as though I already have it. I'm also thinking about that desire and planning for it. I'm taking action by educating myself. Maybe I've created some business goals so that I can create the financial abundance in order to hold another property. Okay, so I'm taking inspired action towards it. Maybe I'm investing in mentors. And then grace starts to come into play because I'm displaying that I'm a woman who is capable of holding a bigger investment property portfolio. And so all of these synchronicities start to occur. The right opportunities show up. I start noticing the kind of properties that I want to add to my portfolio. The right kind of mentors just start like popping up in my realm, like at random places, right? Let me know in the chat if you can think of a time where synchronicities like this have happened in your life. You got so crystal clear. I can think about the diamonds in my business. Every time a diamond came, it was when I was intentional and so clear, I'm ready, I can hold another, I can lead another. right? Kimberly is here for that very reason, okay? Obviously, she had an intention on her side too, but that was the intention I was holding. I could hold it, and synchronicities start to happen. So this is the foundational power of your document, okay? This creation code. This is going to come into play, and this is how the law of attraction really works. So let's dive into it. I want you to come back to the first exercise, which is your values clarity, okay? So we're going to do a few exercises that help you hone in deeper and deeper to your true core values, what's important to you, your heart's desire for your future, and your mission and purpose, okay? So let the preparation work begin. The clarity of your calling, this is a quote by one of my favorite mentors, and I love this one. The clarity of your calling determines the vitality of your life. The clarity of your calling determines the vitality of your life. The clearer I am on my mission and purpose, the more energy I bring to every day, the more I get done. Like it just blows my mind that the clearer I am, the more excited I am, the more inspired into action I am, because inspiration creates movement, okay? So the more clear I am, the more inspired I can be, the more there's a gravitational pull to do stuff, right? To move. And this is just such a huge creative force in my life. So let's start by getting clearer on your personal values, okay? The more efficient you can be at mapping out and creating the life that will bring the deepest fulfillment to you, okay? You can then live in alignment to your highest values, and that's where the fulfillment occurs. So what is important to you? I want you to circle your core values, and you can add any notes on this, okay, if anything's not listed. So I'm going to play a song, and I'm going to give you guys a moment to just listen to your hearts and just let it flow. Try not to think too deeply about this one.
I've come so close to this. There's a feeling now, such a heavy rush from me. And it whispers, calls out, hold on till I'm listening. There's a wildfire set to blaze, undiscovered, here to change. There's a wildfire, fire, fire. Whoa, whispering. I can't stay far from you. So beautiful, pulls you in till you feel it. And it whispers, calls out, hold on till I'm listening. There's a wildfire set to blaze, undiscovered, here to change. There's a wildfire, fire.
All right, I don't want to spend too much time there because we're going to keep getting deeper on this. So turn the page, and we're going to do an exercise, and hopefully it's the first time that you've done this and you'll feel this power. I want you to consider that you have 6 months to live, and I want you to write in detail what you would spend that time doing if you had no restrictions at all on time, money, or possibility. when you do this, if you want to close your eyes down for a moment, and I really want you to feel into your heart with this, like really embody this as if it were true for you, just for the moment. Then we're going to release it and we're going to focus on being in the realm of dreams. But yeah, just really close your eyes down, feel into this. I'm going to play a song and I want you to just let the words flow. Don't worry about it sounding perfectly. Just write whatever pops into your heart and mind.
When it's over, when it's all done, we say amen. And all is well. We say when we feel the peace, we can understand. We say amen.
Okay, you can come back to us now. I just want to share a little story with you here. I, through all of my years of personal development, thought I knew what my top values were. And every time I would take some kind of course or be with a mentor, I'd be like, they get you to write your values, and I'd write the same values in the same order of hierarchy. And then I did this exercise 3 or 4 years ago, and I was really profoundly impacted by it because I didn't realize how high some of my values were on my list. I was doing the politically correct answer, and in some ways. And when I did this exercise, I had this deep feeling inside of me, like the most dominant feeling that I had was, what could I leave? How could I serve? how could I serve my family, my girls, my loved ones, my lover, and this community? I had such a huge space in my heart for the women in this community who I had promised to lead and serve. And this overwhelming feeling of what would I leave them? And it wasn't a feeling of how would I be remembered? It was a feeling of service in giving, in leaving something for them. And so I realized on top of my list was that contribution and service to the world. And although it was always important to me, I hadn't listed it that high on my values. So I'm curious in the comments if something came up for you that you never realized before. I'll share another aha moment with you that one of my friends had in person at the masterclass last year. She realized that the very things, and you might resonate with this, the very things she felt resistance and frustration around and resent for on a daily basis were the very things she would spend 6 months doing, like embracing and being present with her children, right? So this can just be a really great reminder to come back to the present moment with the things that we really truly value, and are we placing our time and our attention on the things that matter most to us? So let's turn the page, and I'll play maybe half a song here. What I want you to do, actually, you might go back to that page and take a highlighter or a pen and circle anything that pops out to you that maybe you've uncovered that has come into your awareness now, okay? So in answering the previous question, you've uncovered your core values. Read through carefully and write down the values that have become apparent to you from this exercise. Now, if they do differ from your original set of values, it indicates that you are either living in accordance to someone else's values, so how your parents told you you should live, or how society tells you you should live, or your loyalty ties to your friends, or whatever that might be, or their perception of how you should be living. Or you foresee that living those values will lead you further towards the values that you uncovered. So for example, working 50 hours a week, eventually you'll have freedom to be present with the family, okay? So whatever comes up for you, just keep making some notes that you can get clearer on those values, because life is so short, and the more you can live in alignment with your values, the more fulfilling it is going to be. So I'll play another little song here.
I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light.
Okay, I'm just reading the chat here, and I've just had goosebumps reading all of your aha moments. And predominantly what stands out is growth and contribution, not realizing how important that is, but also just being present with your loved ones and loving life and this beautiful planet. And that was what came up for me as well. And it might be a beautiful reminder and something you want to put into your statement later on, to call your attention to ensuring that you have moments of presence each day, because we get so stuck in just the doing that we forget the being part of life, which is where the magic is. So I want you to turn over to what makes your heart beat, and we're going to expand on this area now. And we're going to think about what you loved doing as a child. What made you jump out of bed in the morning? What lit you up? What would you be doing now if you had no limitations? Now, when our energy is so focused on the daily grind, we forget what makes us happy. And some of us have been doing that year upon year, and we've truly forgotten what it is that lights us up. And I see this in women, especially who have become mothers, and I'm putting my hand up because this is something that I really had to work on myself over the years, is that when we become moms, we can easily lose this connection to our feminine essence. We lose connection to our playfulness, our sense of freedom and flexibility and flow and creativity and all of these juicy feminine qualities that are so magnetic, not only in our own being, but for others around us as well. And we replace these with things like rigidity and control and planning and scheduling, and like, I feel icky just saying those words. They obviously have their time and place, but the magic is in those essence words that I shared. And so I love this quote, that we don't stop playing because we grow old because we stop playing. And so my measurement of success is how much fun I'm having, because the world has trained us to believe that the measurement of success is material things. And I'm not going to lie, I live in a very beautiful home and I love beautiful things. And it's especially energetically very beautiful, and I feel very abundant and grateful for that, and I don't want to change that, and it is part of my inspiration. But where I draw the source of most of my joy is being present to fun and playful moments and being playful myself, and remembering, because often the thing that lit us up as a child is often connected to our calling. And so that's why this exercise is really important, to reconnect with that. So think about the qualities of children and think about yourself as a child. A child is curious, they're present to the moment, they're creative, right? They're present to the moment, they're not thinking about, problems in the future. They're creative, they're visionary, they often don't have limitations in their belief of what is possible for their future. So how can you bring back these qualities, and what might open up for you in your life if you brought them back? So I'm going to play another beautiful song, and I want you to just tap into what are the things that you could do endlessly when you were a child that completely lit you up, and maybe it's time to bring some of those things back.
It's beautiful, beautiful. When you love your life, it's beautiful, you're beautiful. Feel alive every time. Just be free. There's a stream deep inside that lets you be just how beautiful you are. When you love life, it's beautiful, beautiful. When you love your life, it's beautiful, you're beautiful. Take a minute, catch your breath. One day at a time, live your life with no regret, and just be free. Be how beautiful you are. Don't let your fear stop you now. Pull it together and let yourself be just how beautiful you are. When you love life, it's beautiful, beautiful. When you love life, your life is beautiful, beautiful.
I love it. When you love life, it's beautiful, and it's so true. It's the energy that we bring that creates the beauty in our life. So I was watching the comments, and some of you put things like, you loved climbing trees. It's so funny in my parenting because I have two girls, obviously, but I grew up with three stepbrothers and a brother. And so I was, doing a lot of boy activities, fishing and camping and getting dirty, and returning to those things as an adult is where I found my true happiness. And so I'm the parent climbing the tree and yelling at my two girls because they won't climb the tree. Or like, I'm like, get your roller skates, we're going roller skating, but really I'm the one that wants to roller skate or jump on the trampoline. So, but it brings a lot of magic and joy and youthfulness into my life. I just want to honor and respect those in the chat because this hasn't come up before. I just want to recognize those who had more of a traumatic past in their childhood or perhaps cannot remember that time. And I'm sorry that I didn't do a better job of holding space for that in the description. But what you can do is really think about what are the things that you wish you had have done and bring some joy and magic into the now and cause some healing that way. And you're never too old to try things and do things that you wish you had of, or to bring some of those things back. So let's move on. Let's move to the next page. All of these things are going to come together when we get to the creative process. So what are your superpowers? Recognize all of your inherent and unique gifts that you bring to the world. What qualities have you gained from past experiences? What skills have you cultivated? What are your areas of special insight, knowledge, and wisdom? So this is the part where you're allowed to be too much, and I actually want you to, and I encourage you to embrace your too muchness. Who was your authentic self before the world started chipping away at you? And I'll share my experience. As a child, I was extremely outgoing, extremely opinionated. One would say over opinionated. I hadn't learned grace yet around sharing my opinions. I was very confident, outspoken, and I was very, very much in alignment with my identity and who I was. So that's how I felt as a child, very empowered, very independent. And then life started chipping away at me. My teachers told me I was too much. My peers told me I was too much. My parents told me I was too much in subtle ways, not always explicitly, sometimes explicitly. And so as an adult, I became not enough because I was too much. So I backflipped. I became so shy, so introverted. To this day, I still have to call in my personal power sometimes and remind myself to not to use my voice, but in speaking situations like this would have come with ease as a child, whereas I experienced nerves and things that I didn't experience in the past because my voice was beaten out of me for so long. And it has been, a long road back to recovering my too muchness. And now I live in a space where I know that I attract people into my space who love my too muchness. I'm not too much for them. They love all the parts of me, okay? So it is challenging being a woman because we exist in a world where the undercurrent is to shine and stand out just enough in order to be noticed by a potential mate, but never outshine the women next to you. Now, the problem with this is when you access your light and stand in your light, you give permission to other women to do the same. And when we light all of ourselves up, imagine the ripple effect. Imagine the current on the planet then. So who would you be if you were free to be yourself? Free, like, I don't know if you're anything like me, but in the past, I used to micromanage every thought in my head before I spoke it, and it was painful. There was so much inner friction, and then it would come out wrong because I was monitoring it, and then I would spend days thinking about how it came out wrong, right? There was no freedom in my being. It was exhausting. So who would you be if you were free to be yourself? Okay. So this is where you get to, when you really tap into this is where your magnetism is as well, okay? So I'm going to play another song, and I want you to really just play full out on loving yourself, like really give that ego a massage, right? There are no limitations to you loving on yourself right now. And if you're challenged with this, okay, and you think there is nothing good about yourself, I'm going to call BS on that. And I get maybe we need to create some new habits where you're able to think nice thoughts about yourself. But I want you to then, if you're challenged, tap into, especially if you're a mother, this will resonate with you. What would your mum say about you? Because your mum sees you likely in the same light and the same love to the best of her capacity, okay, as you see your child. So what would she say about you? Or what would your sister say about you, your best friend, your partner, okay? Allow their voice to come through you if you're struggling to hear your own.
I know that I don't sell you small, but you deserve so much more love than I give. You've been through hell so many times, and I still blamed you for the times you cried. And it's easier to say when I'm acting like I'm talking to somebody else. It's easier to say, but this time, this is for myself. I'm loving me. I'm loving me. I'm loving me. I'm loving me. I didn't give it all just to get nothing. I'ma take this pain and turn it into something. I'm loving me. I'm loving me. I'm loving me. I'm so proud of you. If you were anybody else, I would've held you while you cried. Told you that you're just a flame. You've been fighting for your life inside. And you know you can't deny. Don't you even try to lie. You work so damn hard to stay alive. And it's easier to say when I'm acting like I'm talking to somebody else. It's easy to say, but this time, this is for myself. I'm loving me.
So just reading the comments here, you're writing about your superpowers. What are your gifts that you bring to the world? What are you good at? Maybe you were good at them as a child and you need to bring them back. And maybe there's some things that you've learned along the way, some lessons that you brought with you. Maybe there's some new gifts that you've learned that you hold because you're trying new things. It's all about really bringing to light your superpowers, your gifts, because these are going to be pulled into your, these are going to tie into your calling and how you can be of service to the world.
And try to pick up all pieces while we're breaking. You've been working hard every breath you're taking. I'm proud of you, so so proud of you. I'm loving me. I'm loving me. I'm loving me. I'm loving me. I didn't give it all just to get nothing. I'ma take this pain and turn it into something. I'm loving me. I'm loving me.
Reading the comments. Shout out to all the bossy girls out there. That's what I was called to. And look at me now, right? That bossy attitude, kicking butt in life. Again, I just want to honor anyone who is having any challenges come up, trauma, hurt. I encourage you to note that down somewhere in a journal, because it's your opportunity to bring, if you feel triggered, it's your opportunity to bring light to this area. This masterclass, because we are limited by time, is not, we're not going to go down that healing journey today, but it's something that you can come back to, and where you can seek support and guidance and mentors to help you with that outside of this masterclass. And I really hope that you do. So if anything is coming up for you, just jot it down and pop it to the side, and it's something that you can circle back to later on, okay? And I'm sending you all the love and light for that, and I hope that you do. So that was all about loving on yourself and just like playing full out. When I read my statement, you're just going to be like, oh my God, this chick loves herself so much. But it's about reminding yourself of your superpowers every day, because I'm going to be TMI for a moment, because the truth is vulnerability is one of my greatest strengths. So to 1,000 women, mostly women here today, and a couple of men, I'm coming up to my cycle being due, right? And so I'm an introvert at the best of times. If anyone knows me, not many people in my life get the fullest expression of me, because I am quite shy and introverted. And so speaking to 1,000 plus, I think we had 2,000 register actually, women leading into the winter phase of my cycle, where I most want to be unseen, was not ideal. However, when I get my divine vision statement out this morning and read an entire page of my superpowers and gifts and how they serve the world, I was able to align with the energy of calm courage and a high value woman who is capable of leading 1,000 women today, even though today I wasn't waking up fully feeling that alignment. So that's the power of really leaning into what you bring to the world, okay? So now we're going to pull out some ideas and dreams. We're going to play in the field of dreams right now. So I want you to turn the page, and we're going to have a look at the different pillars in our life and what our vision is for our future in these 6 pillars. And we're going to break it down to mentally, physically, spiritually, and our legacy. So those 4 areas within these pillars, okay? Now, as we play in the field of dreams, we're going to create a vision that is really exciting through this process, okay? It's going to draw out ideas and feelings and vision, obviously. And by doing this, we're going to create a document that has that gravitational pull that allows us to squash doubts and beliefs and distractions, right? So that we take inspired action every day. So as we do this, I want you to allow your desire and your ability to dream to override your sense of time. Because when we tap into the frequency of dreams, time works itself out. But we have been conditioned from birth to limit ourselves to time. So if I said to you, could you make $1 million? The high likelihood of the majority of people on this call would say no. But if I said to you, could you make $1 million in your lifetime? The high likelihood is most of you on this call already know how to make $1 million, and you already have, but you limited your possibility and your perception of it because you played in the realm of time instead of dreams. Does that make sense? So I want you to stop judging what is possible due to time. And this is another powerful thing about our vision statement is it is in the realm of dreaming rather than time constraints. So you're speaking into existence things, and because we're not limiting them to time, and Kate and Anthony did a beautiful job at the beginning saying this is not one of those goal setting things. And that is the challenge with goals. If we don't meet them in the time frame and the restrictions that we set, and and it just becomes a big mess, okay? So this is going to be so much more expansive for you and inspiring because we're removing the frequency of time. So you're going to consider what your values, hopes, desires, and your desires are, and your strengths in relation to these areas, okay? And how do you relate to them, but also how would you like to relate to them? So how do you want to feel in these areas, as well as how you're already doing well in them? So how we perceive ourselves, the identity that we have created for ourselves, is completely fabricated. Now, the great news about that is you can fabricate whatever identity you like for your future. Okay, and again, your document is an opportunity to choose your alignment each day, how you want to show up, resetting that emotional tone and state of the day. So I want to give you an example. So first of all, consider each pillar of your life. What are you doing now? What are the things you are most passionate about? What do you consider your mission? What do you want to magnetize more of? What qualities do you want to cultivate within yourself? Write your notes on the following pages, taking into consideration your mental, physical, spiritual, and legacy vision in each of these areas. Now, I want to give you an example because I want you to try not to overthink this too much. There is no right or wrong with this. It's all about just letting your ideas flow and calling attention to some specific areas to think about. So if we have a look at self-relationship, how do I relate to my mental vision of my relationship with self? So when I read my DVS manuscript for you, you will hear me talk about things that cultivate self-love and self-worth. Okay, I already feel those things, but I'm also setting an intention to continually cultivate more or realign if I get off track. Okay, so it's how I think and feel about myself. My physical vision for me personally in my document is all about, because of my self-love, I make good choices for my physical body. Okay, how I want my body to feel, to look, how I move through my day. So it's in the physical realm. Then if I think about spiritual vision and how I relate to self, for me personally, I am really, each day I set intention and focus on aligning myself spiritually and to really tap into my own spiritual wisdom, but also that of the universe. Okay, so really feeling spiritually aligned. So that might be about deepening your personal spiritual practice, whether that be with God or with yourself. So whatever spiritually that means to you. And then legacy vision for me is all about leading by example. So I have 3 daughters now. And so for me, it's when I lead in self-love and self-worth, I am leaving a legacy for my daughters. And that is going to impact generations to come. My healing and how I show up and lead myself has a generational impact. Okay, so does that land for everyone? Okay, so turn the page and we're going to start with mentally. How do you relate to these areas? And I just want to give you a few little tips as you start to think about this. I am going to play some music. Kate's popped the worksheet that we're working on up there for you to have a look at. If it is coming through you, then it is probably for you. So even if it feels silly or outside the realm of your possibility right now, just write it down, okay? Forget that frequency of time, live in the realm of possibility. Bring intentionality to the small things. So many of you, when you thought about your 6 months to live, it wasn't about big grand gestures. It was actually about being present to the small moments. So a lot of my vision statement is reminding me to actually just stop and be with my loved ones and do the things that light me up. And I also want you to reduce overwhelm, because there's this feeling, there's this heavy feeling when we come into the new year that it's a blank slate, that we're starting from ground zero and who am I going to become this year? And I encourage you to flip this to evolution and growth over a lifetime. 2022 is simply a building block. You have accomplished so much. You have grown through so much. You have built so much already. And this is simply a building block. And this is how we compound our energy and build momentum over time. So see this year as a building block. Okay. And as you write, what are you building and moving towards? And also remember, this is your opportunity to do resets each day. So for example, if you feel challenged, I know this used to be a massive challenge for me around like the friction I felt as a mother, like being snappy and frustrated and impatient. You get to write into your document how you want to show up, what state you want to be in, how you want to relate to your children. Okay. So it is your daily reminder. So you can write in the positive frame, not the negative frame. Okay. You want to promote what you love, not bash what you hate. So rather than writing, I don't want to be a frustrated, snappy mom, what you write is, I am a calm and present mother and I cultivate inner pause. Okay. So bring it into the positive light. Okay. I'm going to play a song and let you guys work through. And one, you can move on from page to page. If any of the leaders have anything they want to jump in and share at any time, then please do so. Anthony, you're being particularly quiet.
Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, a minor fall, and the major lift. Baffled king composing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
So I think you guys can see me. I'm just going to show you an example because I know some of you are saying that you're lost in filling it out. You just want to create little notes and bubbles around each thing, like what pops up to you. Mentally, how do you relate to your sexual relationships? Would you date you, right? Like write down everything that you want to feel and think about in that area. Because everything that you want to experience, feel, have within a relationship starts with you, right? Would you date you? Are you doing and being those things already? So how do you relate to each area mentally?
And from your lips she drew my hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Well, there was a time when you let me know what's really going on below, but now you never show that to me, do ya? But remember when I moved in you, the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was higher. Hallelujah.
You guys are doing a beautiful job. Just write whatever ideas come to you. It doesn't matter how they come out, because this is not your statement. This is just the dreaming part, the visioning part, thinking and feeling into these each of these pillars in your life. So turning the page, I want to share with you is a lot of the work is going to be done outside of this masterclass. So we're here to support and facilitate you in understanding the building blocks and leading into listening to a divine vision statement. And then you're going to go away outside of this masterclass. It took me about a week to curate mine and to get it to the place that like felt really congruent to me. So there's definitely going to be homework, but we're also going to support you in that. So we're going to have a Q&A session so that you can come and ask your questions and get clear on what came up for you when you were writing yours, because we want to make sure that you're so intentional and that your personal statement feels really, really powerful and soulfully aligned for you. Okay. So turn the page. We're going to work on physically and spiritually. Just let the ideas flow. If they come out as I am statements, then that's beautiful. If they come out with a negative tone for now, that's okay, because we're going to transform them and flip them when we go into the vision statement. Just think about, how do I relate physically to myself? How would I like to relate physically to myself? How do I currently relate to my family relationships? How would I like to? Okay. If nothing is coming up in areas, you can come back to it now. So just let those ideas flow, and we'll continue playing some songs so you can get into your creative jam.
I know what it's like, I know how it feels. Let the pain break you down now, you gotta give it time to heal. Don't worry now, even though the fear is real. Just hold on. If you're looking for a sign, something to carry you back into the light, love is the answer. Love is the answer. When you're ready, start again. I'll be here waiting, reaching out my hands. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. I know it's a struggle, I know it's a fight. Not to end every day feeling like you've been living a lie. It's time to be free, it's time to find peace by the water. And just hold on. If you're looking for a sign, something to carry you back into the light, love is the answer. Love is the answer. When you're ready, start again. I'll be here waiting, reaching out my hands. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. If you're looking for a sign, something to carry you back into the light, love is the answer. Love is the answer. When you're ready, start again. I'll be here waiting, reaching out my hand. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Just hold on. Just hold on.
Okay, let's turn the page to spiritually, and I'll give you some more examples just to help you as you do this. So spiritually, financial is a great one to give you an example on, because one of our undercurrents as a human collective is it's not spiritual to be wealthy. So I'm going to call BS on this. Financial growth is deep spiritual growth. Okay, financial growth is deep spiritual growth. The emotional signature of your money growing is in direct relation and a product of your self-worth. And when you feel your innate divine worthiness, you are spiritually aligned. So remember, your external reality is an expression of that internal landscape. So if you are spiritual, which you are, whether you claim to be or not, you are a spiritual being. Becoming more is your soul's purpose, because the only way to have more is to become more so that you can hold it. And when you have more, you're able to be of greater service to the world, which in some way, shape or form or capacity, you're here to be of service to the world. I know that as I'm able to hold more wealth as a woman, I have so much more to give. I'm able to be more present with my time, so I have more time to give. I'm more generous by financial means when I need to be. I have, greater mentors in my life that help me to upscale my service. So any beliefs outside of finances being spiritual are not based in universal wisdom and truth. And it's part of your coding, which make sure that you stick around, because Anthony's going to come back and help you with that. How do you relate to self and spirituality? So I gave that example before of self. Like for me, it's all about deepening my spiritual practice and spiritual alignment and connection to universal wisdom. Spirituality and family relationships. In my divine vision statement, I got this from one of my mentors in India. I have a very specific and written out separate spiritual vision for my children, because until they come into being able to guide that for themselves, I am their spiritual guide. Career relationships. I'm bringing more and more a spiritual element to my career and how I show up and lead women in this area. And you'll hear that in my vision statement, how I relate to it and how I want to relate to it in the future. So I'm obviously evolving. We're always evolving in these areas. Sexual relationship. Your way of being teaches other people their way of being, how to conduct themselves around you. Spirituality, the more that you deepen your spiritual practice, the more your sexual relationships and practices will deepen as well. Now, this is going to be very unique and personal to you. So, opening your heart up to what that means to you. You will hear some of that context in my divine vision statement, but I've also removed some parts of privacy, but I've kept enough in to keep it juicy. Global and social relationships. So on a global scale, your impact scale, your legacy scale, what does this mean to you spiritually? So for me, part of my divine vision is calling in other soul-led, spiritually aligned women on a global scale so that I can compound my impact. Okay, so that's how I personally relate and want to continue evolving and relating to in the future in these areas. Now, remember, don't compare yours to mine, okay? I've been doing this for lots of years now, and it continues to expand for me, so don't compare your chapter to mine or your soul's purpose to mine, okay? So I'm going to play one more song because I'm conscious of time, and I want you to look at this page and the next page, and then we're going to move on to our next beautiful speaker, and then we're going to come back and help you piece this together.
Darling, darling, you're beautiful. Gotta keep your head up. Never let anything bring you down. Sunshine will always come around. Stay strong, move on. You have such a beautiful soul. Let your energy radiate. Darling, darling, you're beautiful. You gotta keep your head up. Never let anything bring you down. The sunshine will always come around. Stay strong, move on. You have such a beautiful soul. Let your energy radiate. Mm, 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 Darling, darling, remember days will get much better. Darling, darling, you can make it through the stormy weather. Darling, darling, please don't ever give up. Darling, darling, you gotta keep your head up. Darling, darling, remember days will get much better. Darling, darling, you can make it through the stormy weather. Darling, darling, please don't ever give up. Darling, darling, you gotta keep your head up.
Okay, so remember, you can come back and spend as much time as you like on this. I know some of you, and this is completely normal, believe me. And let's normalize stuff, by the way. One of the things that women do so well that is not a superpower is thinking we're the only ones that think and feel a certain way, but often the majority of the collective are having the same thoughts and feelings, if not in the moment, in other moments. So for those of you who are feeling blocked, I'm going to pass to Shani now, and she's going to help us open up to dream bigger.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Shani Thompson, and one of my life's purpose, my vision, what's in my divine vision statement is exactly this. It's sitting here with you and teaching and helping you to expand and to help you be more and do more and just create wild abundance and peace and love and joy in your lives and purpose and clarity, productivity, all those beautiful things. So I am actually living out my divine vision statement right now with you. So I just want to say thank you for having me. I'm so honored and blessed and can't wait to spend the next little bit of time with everybody. My intention today with the time that I have with you is just to remind you about what you're capable of, what's within you, what your true potential is, and how magnetic you actually are, because I think sometimes we forget the power that we hold and what we can create, you know, in our future, in our lives, in our reality. And so I really want to make sure that the time that I spend with you is intentional and that you are guided into the next part of the divine vision statement with Kira, with you understanding what power you hold and how limitless you are and how unshakable you are and unstoppable, and how you have this infinite potential that is within you. And, you know, I believe we come to this earth plane knowing this. We are born into this lifetime knowing this, and then somewhere along the way we forget. And so this is a remembrance for you. This is your reminder. This is your little gentle kick in the tush to remind you that you have the ability to create whatever it is that you want to create. And you can create it with intention and purpose and clarity and vision. And so one of my mantras that I live by is that what you think about, you bring about. And I am a true believer in that we are all a creative force. And so when we manifest things into our lives, I believe that they happen twice. I believe that the first time it's when it's a seed and it's planted in your mind and you think about it. And then the second time is when it unfolds in your reality. It's where time collapses and folds on one another and it actualizes in your life. And so it becomes a thing in your actual experience. And so I just want to remind you about the thoughts that you have and hold really do hold so much power to create whatever it is that you truly want to create. So I just want you to take a moment and just look around your reality right now. Like, where are you? Who do you have next to you? What have you created? Because everything you see around you right now is exactly what you have brought into existence. You have actualized it. And so what is the first thing that comes to mind for you when you do look around? Is it, oh, I am in isolation? Or, oh, I'm in my dingy living room? Or is it, I have this abundance of community around me? Or I am surrounded by so much opportunity? Like, so where is your mindset? Where is your thought process? How are you vibrating? What frequency are you at? I like to think of it like a TV with, you know, the old school TVs with the channels that used to, you know, like the dials. What channel are you on? Are you on the channel that's like static and a little bit, or are you on that channel that's crystal clear, crisp? So today's intention is to really help you remember that what you think about, you bring about. So sometimes in the creative process of cultivating our wildest ideas and our dreams and manifestations, and in the process of creating a divine vision statement, we find ourselves challenged and I suppose unable to move past certain blocks. So you may want to call them glass ceilings, you may want to call them limiting beliefs. Sometimes they're just little, I don't know, kink in the chain, so to speak. And sometimes we're not capable of achieving what we set our sights on, our vision on, because of this block or this energy that's, you know, it's causing resistance. Has anyone been there before? Pop it in the chat. Give me a 1 if you know what I'm talking about. You have this vision and this desire and this want to have more and create more and impact and serve the world and have abundance around you. But for some reason, you're like, why isn't this happening? And I know this feeling because I have been there myself many times, and I'm not perfect. I still find myself at times in this position where I have to come back to all the personal development work that I've done and all of the mentors that I've had around me who teach me and remind me that, Shani, you're limitless, you are infinite, you are powerful. I still to this day have to remind myself, right? So something happens along the way where we just forget. And what I love about the divine vision statement, when I read it every morning, it's my reminder. It's kind of like sometimes I go to bed and I wake up and I forget. I forget what my purpose is. I forget my visions. And it's so easy to get stuck in, the cycle of life and the hamster wheel and the rat race. And you pick up your phone and all of a sudden you're on emails and you're attending to the family matter or the kids, and you haven't read your divine vision statement, and you start your day and you've forgotten that you are powerful, you are creative, you are magnetic. So what I love about the divine vision statement is that actually it reminds me about who I am, what I'm available to create, how powerful I am, how magnetic I am, what I can manifest and cultivate and bring into my life, right? So sometimes we have these limiting beliefs that stop us, even though we are feeling like, we can create these beautiful things in our lives. We have this thing stopping us. And, it might be we feel like our dreams are too far-fetched, or it's a pipe dream, or someone said something to you that made you feel inadequate, and that's just like a really silly dream and it's not possible. And so when we have these, I suppose, limiting beliefs or glass ceilings around us, or these, our end result that we want to create just has this like niggly little negative mindset focus point or a negative motivator behind the goal, that's when we find resistance. But we can easily change that. And I'm hoping that right now we get to change some of those. So I really want to help you to rewire your brain and your thought process when it comes to the 10 core negative mindset focus points. I'm going to talk about them now with you. And I really want to help you shift your thought patterns so that you wake up every day inspired and you read your divine vision statement with certainty and with a new point of view that allows you to come from a space of abundance and of service. Okay, so I feel like there are 10 core motivations that when we do set goals, we forget that there are these little like kind of like a negative connotation to our goal setting. So I want you to be mindful of them, because the next part of the activity with Kira is so beautiful and powerful, but I just want you to be mindful of these 10 core motivations so that then you can create so much abundance and really vision cast with power. Okay, so if you go to your booklet, you'll see that I've got 10 there on the page. So I'm going to start with number one. Number one is that so this is the block that when you create a goal from a state of lack or scarcity. So let me explain to you what I mean by that. So you're creating goals because you think you're broken. You think that life is broken, that there are things around you in your life that are not yet how you envision them to be. And so you set a goal to hopefully rid the scarcity. So an example of this is, I want financial stability because I'm broke, or I want freedom because I feel trapped, or I want my business to be successful because it's not yet where I want it to be. Do you see what I'm talking about? So you're setting a goal because there's something of lack or of scarcity around you. So what I would love to, I suppose, help you break down here is, what if you're not broken? What if your life actually isn't broken? What if everything that you're experiencing in life right now is absolute perfection to help you become who you need to become when you harness that abundance and the finances and the business? And, for me personally, everything I've ever thought was broken in my life, in hindsight now, looking back, it was so perfect. And I hold so much gratitude for everything that I had in my life or thought I lacked, because it was such a pivotal part to my journey to become who I am today. And it was such a pivotal piece to the puzzle for me to have the life that I have today. So rather than looking at your life as though it is broken, and that you need to fix things, you know, right? What if you want financial stability because you know you're capable of it? What if that was your mindset? What if you want abundance because you're worth it and it's your birthright? What if you want freedom because you believe it's in your dharma to fulfill freedom in this lifetime, and it's in your divinity to create it, and you deserve it, so you want to create it because you would love it? What if you want the successful business because you would just love to create impact and serve the world, and you're worthy of that success? So can you see how there's a very different mindset around the goal creation process? And this is so important when you're writing your goals in the next section. Just remember to not come from that place of scarcity, come from that place of perfection and abundance, and that you would love to create that because you can. Okay, so that's where the rewire of the brain thought pattern happens. So the second one is you believe abundance is like a pie in the sky. And this, I suppose, this belief is that there's not enough abundance to go around for all of us, that abundance is scarce and it's hard to come by. You have to be lucky to have abundance. You know, oh, she's lucky, she's abundant because she had opportunity, or she had this or that. I could never be like her. You know, thinking that is like a literal, like, I want you to imagine a pie in the sky right now, and it's cut up in little pieces, and there are only so many slices of the pie that everybody can have. It's a limited pie of abundance, right? That's the mindset when you can create blockages when creating goals, because it's like, oh, well, she has that, I couldn't have all of that, so I'll have a version of that, a smaller version, and you dim your light, right? And this actually just comes from generational limitations. Sometimes our parents urge us to value what you have, don't complain because it's hard to come by, or it's a way of thinking based on the idea that everyone has to compete to grab a slice of this pie, right? Or another belief is that the pie is way too small to serve everyone adequately, so you get your piece and that's the piece that you get. So beliefs around scarcity, I believe, come from our ancestors, like all the way back through the wars, the famines, the Great Depression, the Industrial Age. These are all times in our life, well, not our life, but in our existence as humans, where money and food was hard to come by, it was scarce. And so our ancestors have passed on this scarcity mindset down to us. And it's not their fault, it's just a protection mechanism, right? But that's not you. We're not in that lifetime. This is like, we are abundant, right? So let's look at it another way. The way I see abundance is that it's infinite, it's unlimited, it is everywhere. So I want you just to take a really big breath in with me right now. Go. How abundant is air, right? Look around. You can't see the air, but it is abundant. There is so much of it, right? You can't physically touch it, feel it, see it, but you know it's there. You know you're not running out of air. And when a sweet little baby is born and we hold this baby in our arms and the baby takes a breath, we don't have less air, right? We look at this baby and we just think, oh my gosh, the innocence, the love. We don't think, oh, now there's less air for me to breathe, right? So don't forget, abundance is limitless. It's unlimited. So don't hold back in this next section, because it really is available to you. The third one is your goals are about filling a void or about making an incomplete part of you complete. So that this is all about, I'm not good enough right now, so I'm going to set these goals so that I do feel good enough. And when I am good enough, I'm going to feel worthy, and then I can dream bigger. Or I feel insignificant, I feel unseen, I don't feel heard. So I'm going to make all my goals around feeling significant, seen and heard, so that then I can feel the void of the insignificance that I feel. Or I don't belong, I don't belong in my circle. I don't belong in my community, in my family, in my circle of friends. So I'm going to set goals so that I become attractive enough to be loved, to be seen, to be heard, to feel like I belong. So this is another block. This is giving power to the void instead of the creation that you would love to see come to life, right? So rather than you giving power to the creation that you deserve and that you want because you truly would love that end result, what you're doing is you're giving power to the void and you're just manifesting more and more of the void. So again, in this next section, be clear when you're creating your goals and your visions and your wildest ideas. It's not about filling a void. It's not about an incomplete part of you, okay? Number 4 is that your desires are created to get away from an unwanted circumstance. So an example of this is I feel overweight, so I am going on a health kick and I'm going to be strong and healthy and fit and sexy and lean. Or maybe it's, I hate my job, I hate my boss, so I'm going to start my own business. And that's the goal you set. So the goal is set around an unwanted circumstance. The problem here is once you achieve a version of that goal, so once you start losing a little bit of weight, you start looking a little bit good, you start feeling strong, or maybe with the business, it starts to create some momentum and it's actually starting to work and it's starting to grow. What happens is because you created a goal around the unwanted circumstance that's now becoming wanted, you start to lose motivation and momentum, which means then you self-sabotage the goal because you've already got a glimpse of it. So all of a sudden, you don't have anything exciting to go for because you've had a taste of it. So don't make your weight loss goals or your health goals around because you're feeling unhealthy. Make it because you deserve to thrive and you want to live a really long life. Make your business goals around the service that you want to provide to the world, how you want to show up and impact the world instead. So can you see the rewiring of the mindset here? Number 5 is your dreams are designed to make others happy. So this is where you care too much about what other people think of you, and you set your goals to help fulfill their values, their opinions, what they think about you, what they think is right in life, and what your results should look like because it's their opinion. What happens here is your dreams, your goals, desires, they're not actually yours, and you don't really own that end result that you've put on your divine vision statement, and you read it and it's incongruent and it doesn't feel aligned. And this happens when you don't trust your own values and you don't trust your own divinity and creative power. So you're never happy. You have this beautiful document, this divine vision statement, and you read it and you get to the end of it and it's like, something just doesn't feel right here. So make sure when you're creating your goals and dreams and how you're rewarded, make sure it's what truly makes you happy and not anybody else around you in your life. Number 6, you are not open to how your dreams occur. Instead, you hold a really tight grip over how it looks and you have this sense of control of the outcome. I see this a lot with the people I mentor and work with. So, financial abundance must look like a certain way. Success has to come to you in a certain way. The house must look like this. The car must be this. The bank account must be this. The family has to look like this at dinner time. The wardrobe has to, like, all of it has to look, feel, be a certain way. And so what happens here is you try and create this future that is, I suppose, you clutching at the straws to make it look like this perfect way. And it's, opportunity comes and presents itself to you and you are just so tunnel vision on how it's meant to look that you pass by the opportunities that are all around you, the magic that comes into your life and presents itself to you. And this happened to me. I had a vision of how I wanted my business to look when I first started in entrepreneurship. I wanted it to be a physical location, and I wanted to coach people in person, and I wanted people to come to me, and I wanted it to be this beautiful big emporium of like different modalities of incredible people that collaborated together. And then I had an amazing business opportunity come across my lap, and it didn't look the way that I wanted it to look. And I said no for so long, and I prolonged my success and abundance from happening because I was so attached to how it had to look. And truthfully, I had to go through the pain of trying to start that business and realizing, oh my gosh, this is not feasible, it's not viable, to then say yes to the opportunity that kept knocking on my door. And oh my goodness, the abundance I unlocked when I said yes, finally, I cannot tell you in words. So when you're emotionally attached to the how, you block yourself from the what. So release how it looks, okay? Focus on the what. Don't focus on how it looks or how it's going to happen or how it's going to come to you. Just focus on the what, which is what you write in your divine vision statement. And then when opportunity comes knocking on your door and it's not exactly how you thought it would turn out, I really urge you to just surrender and open the door and welcome in that opportunity and just go with the flow. It's personally been one of my biggest lessons in my life so far when it comes to creating wild abundance. Number 7 is your dreams are created to disguise what you truly actually desire. So I want to create a business because I want more time with my kids. Then you start the business and you realize, oh, this takes a lot of work. Late nights, early mornings, all of a sudden you don't have time with your kids, right? So don't start the business and don't set a goal to have the successfully huge global impactful business to have more time with your kids. Just create more time with your kids. If that's the goal, if that's the end result, if that's what you want, then that's the true goal. And so put that in your divine vision statement. Don't disguise what you want by other things coming in your way, because that's a perfect example of where you want that successful business and you self-sabotage it because it has gotten in the way of another thing because you attach them to each other. So have them separate and then set the goal of the abundant business that's successful, because you would just love to have a successful, abundant business and the freedom of it. Can you see the difference there? Number 8, you avoid creating new goals because you feel you already have enough. I see this all the time with the women that I work with. I'm not doing this for the money. I just, I'm here because I love it. So I don't mind what I earn. Has anyone heard that one before? Or has anyone said that one before? Right? Now, I believe this comes down to a self-worth issue. And it's actually you blocking yourself from creating more because you feel you're not worthy of it. So all of a sudden, there are no goals, no motivation, there's no drive. Or another one is, I don't need a lover who equally exchanges love and passion and excitement and joy and magic moments with me, because I already have enough love in my life. I have my friends, I have my family, I have my children. So I don't need any more love than what I already have. I already have everything I want. I don't need more. The thing here is you can have everything you want and be anything you desire. You can be abundant and feel abundant and still want more, not because of any other reason than you just deserve it. And you can have more because you're limitless and you're worthy of more. And just because you dang want more, right? It's not a scarcity mindset. It's your birthright to have whatever it is you desire. So don't forget, we can have it all. We can create it all. And that is allowed and that is okay. So when you're setting your goals in the next little section, don't limit yourself because you feel like you have enough. You can have enough and still desire more. It's totally okay and you are totally allowed. I'm giving you permission. Number 9, To have more, you must do more, you must work more, push more, sacrifice, hustle, and then that's when you become abundant. This is one of the biggest limiting beliefs I see with people that I coach. You know, to have more, it's going to require more work, and I don't want to sacrifice time to be more abundant. So what I want to do here is rewire your brain. What if it were easy? What if you could expand time? What if opportunity just comes to you? What if you are a manifesting magnet? What if you delegate so well that you don't have to sacrifice more? What if you manifest the support around you for your true vision to come to life? What if serendipitous events happen around you all the time that allow success, that allow abundance, that allow it all to come with ease and flow? So some really great things to write here are things like, I create more with aligned action and it feels good. And I let it be easy. I expand time. Opportunity flows to me. I have support all around me. And last but not least, your goals created around what you believe is achievable and realistic. Now, I have a little whiteboard here that I'm going to draw this last one out. And actually, if you turn the page, there is a little diagram for you to write whatever notes you want to here. So I am going to introduce you to 3 people. Oh, can you guys see that okay? All right, so the first is the pessimist. The pessimist is someone who writes their divine vision statement with the thought mentality of, this is just a waste of time. That's not going to happen. This is just far-fetched. This is just, this is ridiculous, right? We all know one of them. So what happens with the pessimist is when they go to create their goals and their dreams and their desires, they actually go backwards in life. They create less because they're in that scarcity mindset. They focus on the void. They attract more void. The next is the realist. Now, the realist sets goals. The realist, they set these goals that are realistic, that are achievable, that are safe. And usually the realist creates 100% of what they set. Usually everything, comes to fruition. And, they're happy to live life like this. They're happy to chug along and life is easy. Life is, it's real. Then we have the visionary. And this is what I really want you to be inspired to be in this next section of the workshop. A visionary sets these huge goals, like, oh my gosh, these wild ideas, these incredible goals, the type of goals that make people choke on their dinner when they're talking about goals at dinner. They're the type of goals that really a lot of people would say, wow, you're mad. That's just ridiculous. That's crazy. That's okay. All right. Okay. So guess what happens with the visionary and their goals? Let me know in the chat. What do you think would happen to the visionary who stretches for the stars? Usually they land on the moon, right? So usually what happens is they create way more than the pessimist and way more than the realist. That this gap here is where the magic is. And yes, they have some goals here that don't happen because they've stretched so far beyond what's in their realm of possibility at that given moment, but they always create more than this person here. So I really want to urge you to be a visionary in this next little section. Don't hold back. Don't dim your light. Don't stop yourself because of what's real and what's not real, and definitely don't hold back, because I believe that this is the most pivotal part of the divine vision statement, and what you can actually create in your life comes from you stretching and being okay that the outcome is the outcome. Don't be attached to the outcome. Like I said, don't worry about the how, just worry about the what, and everything else will fall into place. So I want you to flip over your page. You'll see that there is a question here that says, if you had no financial belief or time restrictions, and you were completely free, and you weren't concerned about how or what you would love to do, what would you love to do? I'm going to pop a song on for you all so that you can just have a little think here, and we'll come back to the next page in a moment.
I've kept my grip so tight, I won't let anyone get in my way. I want beautiful things, golden rings, what I want, just to get what I want, and I want. Nothing, there'll be nothing left for us to take. Beautiful things, diamond rings, and I get just to get what I want.
I really want to be mindful of time, but like Kira said earlier, I want you guys to put some time aside to really fill these pages out after the workshop, okay? So I want to just guide you to the next page, which is, what would you like to receive? So what would you love to receive for fulfilling your mission? How would your relationships look, your finances, your well-being, your material wealth, your experiences? Be really detailed here. And this is what you receive in return for fulfilling your mission, for impacting the world, for living your values, for doing you, okay? This is how you are rewarded. This is what you're given back. So have a little think here and write what's on your heart and what comes to mind. And then I will be passing it back over to the beautiful Kira to continue on with your divine vision statement.
Who says you can't turn your mind off? Every thought is a lie, score. It pushes and pulls, takes everything to broken. To a gone. Let go of control. Let go of control. broken, losing yourself, staying alive, but you're broken. How do we get through? How do we live that we're supposed to? Do we find out what life's about when you let go of control? Let go of You're holding on to everything that's not.
All right, guys, I am going to love you and leave you there. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your divine vision statement journey. I'm going to pass it back over to Kira. Yeah, have a beautiful rest of the workshop.
Thank you, Shani, for adding your beautiful light. And I look forward to hearing some of the epic dreaming that comes as a consequence of that. We're going to turn the page now. Once you leave this masterclass in your own time, we invite you just to play some music that feels good. We're going to share this playlist you guys have been asking, and you can really go back and just draw out all the juiciness that is flowing through your body right now. So the next exercise is considering who is the version of you who already has the dream that you hold in your heart. How does this person behave? How do they show up? What do they believe about themselves? What energy do they give in their business and in their relationships? What do they eat? How do they move through their day? So this is about reminding yourself of your highest version of you, because when you truly decide your destiny, that's when your choices and behaviors and where you show up and how you show up start aligning. So when I decided to go from just a stay-at-home, shy, introverted mom, and I had this defining moment of making a decision that something has to shift, and I'm now stepping into the driver's seat of my life, I'm going to create my own current, and I'm going to create a business here in Juice Plus where I get to impact women around the world. There was a literal shift in my being when I made that decision. I didn't have all the answers. I didn't know how to lead. I didn't suddenly become confident. But I didn't wait for success to show up in order to start showing up as the woman who could hold that success that I visioned. I started showing up as the woman who created success, and success followed as a consequence. So when you get really clear on your values and your vision of your future, your behaviors and habits start shifting and orbiting around that outcome. So this is the action part of the success equation. So suddenly your friendships might shift a little. Maybe you're drawing in some influencers who already have the thing that you want to have and hold in your life. And so then you have these positive role models around you. Maybe your workspace begins to reflect something that feels more beautiful and inspiring and empowering. You might show up more organized. You might even shift how you dress, how you speak. Your habits and beliefs might also shift. So I'm going to play half a song and just give you a moment to jot down some of the habits and traits of the woman who already holds this beautiful vision and desires of your future, your heart desires of your future.
Get your motor running, head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way, like a true nature's child. We were born to be wild. We can climb so high, we can climb so high. Born to be wild. Ooh, born to be wild. Born to be wild. Ooh, we were born to be wild.
now we're going to get into the blueprint for creating your own divine mission, vision, manuscript, statement for your life. And this is going to be your own mental movie theater of your future. I'm going to read mine to give you an example, and it might help to bring this together for you to hear the example. Your statement is all about calling to your inspiration. So as I'm reading mine, it may not land for you, but it's not meant to. It's meant to land for me. But what it may do is just highlight some of the exercises that we've been through, and you'll be able to make some connections and draw relevance, and then translate that into something that is very meaningful and purposeful and inspiring for you. I've also omitted some privacy sections just around things like co-parenting and step-parenting and all of those things. So just to keep other people's privacy. And what else? And also, I love words. Words and writing is one of my favorite things. And so my mission statement reflects that, and it feels very powerful to me because of that. If you're someone who just wants a one-pager and you like things short and sweet and dot pointed, if that feels powerful to you, then do the one-pager. I actually have some shorter versions around as well for when I just need a quick like realignment if something's happened in my day. So let's get on. I'm going to read mine, and then what I'm going to do is talk you through the specific blueprint, okay? And then you're going to go away in your own time, and you're going to bring everything together and then insert it into the blueprint. Okay, so the first section of the blueprint is to talk about your purpose and mission. So I, Kira Love, state that my primary purpose is to parent presently each day. I'm dedicated to the spiritual vision, growth, self-worth, financial literacy, sovereignty, and well-being of our 4 children. I support their independence and the unfolding of their authentic and fullest selves. I live my life as an example of the self-loved, self-led, and high-value experience that is possible for their future. So trying to leave space for them to imprint their own being and not imprint onto them, but be the example of what's possible. I am abundant. I feel energy and gratitude flowing in every cell of my being for the richness and well-being in my life. It is my soul's purpose to continually expand and grow this spiritual and material wealth of my internal and external world. It is my responsibility to break the lineage of poverty in my family. I follow wealth principles, create wealth, and I am financially intelligent and free. I feel and grow rich. I serve my family and the community with health education and help families build healthy food cultures within their home, impacting a generation to come back to the wisdom of whole food. My medicine to the world is awareness. I bring awareness to the collective consciousness as I bring more awareness to myself. My divine mission is to be a light for women around the world, leading with grace and humility, inspiring women to calibrate and step into self-leadership alongside me. By going first, I empower women to take responsibility and ownership of their lives and their destiny, to claim their power and divinity, and to find and share their authentic voice and creative expression, to self-ignite and to grow their self-worth and financial independence, and to embody the desires of their heart so they can experience the deepest fulfillment of love, peace, harmony, joy, and evolution in their lifetime. I stand in my power so they may have the courage to do so too. I continually expand my awareness and I create abundance myself so I can lead my community to do the same. Together we normalize wealth in the hands of graceful and feminine women. I give generously to myself and to others. Each day I ask myself, how can I bring even more love into the world today? And where can I find new ways to sow seeds of compassion and acts of kindness? Like Tinkerbell, I sprinkle magic wherever I go. A woman spoke that into my life and I loved it. So I remind myself every day to sprinkle magic. My Juice Plus business serves all avenues of my purpose. It is the vehicle which continuously fuels my desire for expansion into my potential. It supports me in growing my reach to inspire more women to self-ignite. It is the means that connects me with families around the world, allowing me to share my passion and wisdom for health education. It gives me the freedom to connect deeply, give generously, and be present with the people I care about. And it affords me the freedom to live a life I can love. So it's really important to connect your business into your purpose and your way of being and your life, because this is such a clear document. What you don't list that is important to you, let me rephrase that in a positive way. You want to list the things that are important to you so that they continue to be fruitful in your life. Okay, so it's really important to make that connection. So that's the mission and soul's purpose part. The next section is all about, I love to spend my time. This is where I remind myself to come back to my essence every day, because it's my responsibility to cultivate my happiness. And when I do these things and I cultivate this, then I have this beautiful overflowing effect into my relationships, my business, and my life, because I'm lighting myself up. So I love to spend my time enjoying and appreciating simple things, connecting and being supported in nature, and expanding my inner freedom with activities such as horse riding, dancing, laughing out loud, and creating fun, adventure, and mischief. I love to connect with my children during our nighttime ritual. I love to spend time with friends and family, cook, create, read, write, move my body, teach, and listen to music. I enjoy long rides with my lover. I love exploring the wonders of this planet. I plan and make magic moments a reality with my family. I love to make people feel special and appreciated. I celebrate life and bring fun into every day. In order to fulfill my mission, I bring many gifts. This is where I completely love on myself and remind myself of my superpowers that enable me to fulfill my mission and purpose. Okay, so you might gag a little as I love on myself a lot. I'm a kind, generous, inspired, and influential leader. I'm disciplined in self-leadership. I'm masterful at building community, creating culture, and supporting women while they rise up into their greatness. I'm skilled at coaching and helping women remember and come home to themselves, move forward towards their goals, and create the life their heart desires. I am playful and love trying new and fun things. I am creative, show attention to detail, and I complete tasks with excellence. I am a gifted writer, content creator, and cook. I have impeccable standard to the integrity of my work. I have common sense and awareness are my superpowers. I see, capture, and create beauty. I have calm courage in my way of being and doing. I am an open, passionate, sensual, and generous lover. My divine gift in life is I am a teacher, and I am called to pass on the wisdom and lessons that come into my consciousness from my own journey of healing and self-discovery. My vulnerability is my greatest strength. I am trusted because of my honesty, integrity, and courage to stand in my truth. I often speak for those who do not yet know their strength or voice. I am courageous and lead people out of their comfort zones by example, continually chasing and leaning into my own fears. I lean into radical self-responsibility. I do not hesitate in taking responsibility. I'm quick to apologize, and I find ease in going first. I know my boundaries, what I am a strong yes for, and I'm not afraid of my no. I'm a truth seeker. I am a free thinker with an awake and open mind. I'm tuned in to my intuition and can often sense what is ahead, and this keeps me safe and grounded. I'm a light maker. I emanate and shine and help other women do the same. I'm an empowered, high-value woman, strong yet graceful, standing in my greatness, yet humble, connected, and kind. I have respectful boundaries, and I communicate like a high-value woman. So that is my highest version of me. The last section of the divine vision statement is all about what you want to receive from everything else that has been stated prior up. So by this process, I receive a deep, conscious, and meaningful relationship with my partner. Our bond is deep and special. We are an unbreakable team. Money comes to us in predictable and unpredictable ways. We always have over and above what we expect. We focus on serving, and the commission flows. We have wealth and financial freedom and literacy. We attract and work with incredible wealth creation mentors who flow into our vortex. Our mentors are trustworthy and proficient at teaching us how to continually expand our wealth and freedom. We are disciplined at saving and where we spend our money. Our money works for us. We have so much financial flow, we are able to give generously, continuously. We are always open to receiving more. My Juice Plus business continues to flourish worldwide. This is where you might insert dollar amounts, okay? And each year our property portfolio grows. You might insert numbers here too. Our income streams are multiplying, so you want to be specific. We contribute financially to our family, and we leave a legacy of wealth and financial literacy to our future generations. We own our time and we spend it doing the things we love: beach walks, weekly adventures, and multiple family trips each year with friends and family. We own our beautiful dream-ish home. So for me, I'm always about evolving and expanding and dreaming bigger as my realm of possibility expands. So dream-ish, hence. The energy in our family home is so inviting and expansive. It is spacious, open, filled with light, laughter, music, and love. It is a place where our loved ones gather and magic moments are created. It is clean and organized. The ceilings are high and the large windows reveal the beauty of our surroundings. There are fresh flowers in every room. The gardens are lush and green and inviting. Our indoor and outdoor long tables are often filled with food, family, and friends. My office is a sanctuary where I'm inspired to create. Our bedroom is our retreat, a space where lots of love and passion is cultivated. My wardrobe is well stocked and organized. There's a space for everything. The kitchen is the heart of our home, white and bright and filled with foods that nourish our body and soul. Lots of magic, dancing, and laughter happens there. Our children each have their own dream bedrooms, their sanctuary. They always feel welcome, at peace, and at home. Their friends are welcomed in, and we are known as a safe place. We have a spacious gym and everything we need for maintaining optimal, vibrant health, happiness, and longevity. I'm surrounded by incredible beauty. Sounds very much like the home I just moved into and manifested. I have vibrant health and I am youthful internally and externally, like I am aging backwards. I choose clean and light choices for my body. My body is lean, elegantly strong and flexible. I radiate because of my self-love and good choices. I'm flexible in my thinking and my mind is expanding daily. I trust all the answers are inside me and I vibrate at a high level of consciousness and spiritual alignment each day. The universe continually uncovers more opportunity and mental clarity for me. I am deeply connected, free, and soul aligned. My intuition continues to strengthen and grow. I am a powerful manifester. What I focus on expands and multiplies. I establish my own emotional climate, and therefore the words and actions of others have no power over me. I conduct myself behind closed doors in ways I would be proud for the world to see. I have inner pause and I live from a beautiful state. My feminine essence blooms from within me. I'm a self-ignited source of light and I bring sunshine and warmth to the people who come into contact with me. I light up a room when I walk in. I bring joy through every door I walk through. Our children are conscious, connected, confident, self-led, and kind, and they possess emotional and financial intelligence. Growth and contribution are a natural part of their lives. My connection with my mum and sisters is one of openness, love, and understanding. And I have a flourishing relationship with Danny's family, and I love, invest in, and welcome them as my own. There is an ease and harmony in my relationship. We are drawn to each other and our passion burns bright. There is a deep sense of freedom, intimacy, and trust. We choose love and appreciations every day. We actively protect each other from harm. We work at understanding each other, meeting each other's needs, resolving conflict gracefully and respectfully. I practice inner pause and gentle communication. I challenge him only by challenging myself. I am his sanctuary, a source of peace, softness, fun, adventure, passion, and pleasure. Together, we explore all the layers, depth, and potentiality of our desire and pleasure. We are invested in serving one another. It is our pleasure to do so. We bring the best out in each other. We allow ourselves to be impacted by each other. We bring love to life each day with laughter and playfulness. We are each other's safe place and our greatest adventure. We support each other's autonomy and give each other the freedom to thrive. We are individuals and an undividable force. We share our gifts in each other's lives, amplifying our strengths and bridging the gap in our weaknesses. Our polarity is strong and our relationship is admired by others. Our union makes a positive ripple through the world, impacting many people. I'm nearly done. I have meaningful connections with my friends who dream big, make a difference, and make life happen for them. We share common values and hold each other accountable to be our best. They continually inspire me, and I in turn inspire them. I'm surrounded by a community of heart-driven women with expansive vision, women who crave and make a real difference in the world, women who cultivate strength and grace and grounded femininity. Together, we curate a life we love, compound our reach and mission, and our creations leave an impact and a legacy for generations to come. We do this through the frequency of least resistance, feminine ease, grace, and flow. Our naked program is growing rapidly and making huge transformations in people's lives. Team and customers continuously flow to us with ease. I find ways of doing less yet creating more. I work from inspired action. I'm deeply grateful for my mentors and my support team. I continue to have leaders pouring their magic into me so I can overflow into others. And I always have help for tasks I do not wish to do myself. My staff are trustworthy and their lives are impacted positively by working with me. I am gravity. I don't chase opportunities or people, I attract. Because I love myself, I glow from the inside. I attract people who love, appreciate, and respect my energy. I am magnetic. I let go and trust the universe has my back. I know all things work for my highest good, and therefore I have freedom of outcome and delight in the freedom and possibility of each moment. I choose to vibrate in a reality where there are no limitations. I expect miracles today. The future is exciting. I am deeply grateful for this day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So within that section, that's where you dream. And it's also where you reinforce your gratitude for things that you want to continue to hold and things that you want to come into this space. It's where you magnetize the kind of people that you want in your vortex, and the kind of opportunities that you want to create. And the whole document is a reminder of how you want to show up and the kind of energy you want to set in motion each day. There are some things in there that are deeply grounding and meaningful to me. Even the statement, the future is exciting. I get so many messages, and that was a statement said to me by a friend when I was in a time of uncertainty. I had to move house unexpectedly, right? And I was in freak out mode, and he said to me, the future is exciting. And it completely changed my state in an instant. And so my expectation of the outcome changed in an instant. And then the result was beautiful, like truly beautiful and magnificent. So there, put statements in there that completely bring you back into alignment, that feel really good to you. Okay, you want this to just make you feel lit up when you read it and realigned. Watch this back and steal anything that felt good to you. Shani said some beautiful words before. I'm probably going to go back and steal those. I love the way that she phrases things and puts things together. It's just so feminine and elegant, and that's what I'm all about. I think and feel feminine and elegant. Sometimes I don't speak as gracefully as Shani, but on the inside, that's what I'm feeling. So you're going to do this in your own time, but just to give you some quick, there's a guideline in your workbook to show you how to break this down. And I just went through it. I just want you to make one note that is incredibly important. I state that my primary purpose is, in this section, write the phrase, if you're in Juice Plus, then write Juice Plus serves all avenues of my purpose. If you have a different business model, you've come from outside the community, welcome. Then whatever feels congruent to you, okay, whatever that business is that is supporting all of this, all of your mission and work coming together. You really want to ensure that you cement in all of these important building blocks so they continue to flourish, because what you focus on is going to manifest. So that's your process. And then as you turn over, we've actually given you space to fill in these sections. Okay. So what you can do is flick through your workbook to some of the notes that you've already taken and start to work them into the areas that they fit in, if it feels good to you. As you continue to through the workbook, there's a section where we have a checklist for you to come back to. And this is where we're going to come back together for a Q&A session, because language is extremely powerful. And it is so important that when you're writing your divine vision statement, that you ensure that you're writing it in the correct tense and with positive language, okay? So writing in the present tense, I am, I have, I do, I give, I receive, I feel, and avoiding words that are not really a soul depth commitment and truth and honoring of your divinity, such as need, should, ought, want, would, could, might. Okay, that's a reflection of not yet owning your worthiness or living in accordance to someone else's values. So once you've written it, then you go back through and you look through this checklist, ensure that you've written things in the positive. So I gave you that example with parenting. So choosing to focus on how you want to be rather than writing how you don't want to be. Okay. Also know that, and Kimberly's going to talk about this in a moment, your document is fluid, right? You can only you can only bring into manifestation what you already know. And so as you continue to evolve as a human, your mission statement wants to evolve and reflect that. Okay, so you will continue to expand, as will your document to reflect that. Now, we've also given you some beautiful examples in the workbook, and this is going to help you clarify even further. Every pillar, we've given you examples of things that you may write. Again, you can steal these, you can adapt them, you can work with them if they feel congruent to you. If not, just use them as an example of ways to phrase things for each pillar. And it's also a good way to cross-check and reference that you have actually gone through and thought about every area of your life and included it in your vision statement. So also we have some other homework bits that you can go through in your own time. Just the quality of the questions you ask yourself, we've all heard this, determines the quality of your life. So as you move through the workshop deeper, you're going to have an opportunity to ask yourself some beautiful questions around beliefs that you may bring into being, and some that might be really heavy to keep carrying, and you might choose to leave those behind. And also really looking at the cost versus gain of really truly putting this into action. When I sit down and I really weigh up what it would have cost me if I hadn't have found the courage inside of me to find my voice and to create this financial independence, I honestly shudder inside to think of all the missed opportunities, all the things I would have had to say no to. The gain of what I've created is I can't really remember a time I've had to say, no, sorry, I can't afford that, or I don't have the time, or like I literally live my life in full alignment to my fuck yes. Like that's how my life feels so free. My being feels so free because of that. I also am able to help whenever I need to, with friends, with family, you know, like, and there are really deeper, and I don't want to be morbid, but I want to call your attention to the cost of not getting into inspired action, because I have seen friends and family around me who have complete financial freedom and independence, that when they have family members go through periods of their life and seasons like cancer, they actually have the choice and freedom and opportunity to, you know, send their loved ones overseas to have the best treatment in the world. Like they have freedom of choice. So the cost versus gain exercise for me is personally incredibly empowering, because it reminds me of all the opportunity that opens up for me when I stand in my truth and my power, and I take control of the creative force in my life. So I'm going to hand over to Kimberly now, and she's going to share how you can integrate this into your life with ease, grace, and flow, and reduce the overwhelm. And please stay on, because Anthony is going to take you through a really powerful recoding session at the end.
Amazing. Thank you, Kira. Hello, everybody. And it truly is an honor to be in your presence today and just enjoy this deep level of not only clarity and vision, but the growth and the connection. Just being in this chat room over the last few hours, there is a beautiful deep level of connection going on. So today I am here with you just to share more on how to infuse your divine vision statement into your daily life, into your schedules, and offer some of my practical tips to bring it to life. And I guess not only empower you to feel inspired, to commit to the expansiveness that you're feeling on this call here with us today, but to get your new statement really committed to working for you and delivering for you. So my wish is that you truly see the power of the life-changing tool that you now have in your hands. And from my own personal experience, the only way to do that is to absolutely implement it, right? So I did my first vision statement 4 years ago now, and it was at a time in my life when on the outside, I was, you know what, I was pretending to be the bright, bubbly woman. But on the inside, I was really exhausted and living in fear. So I am a mama to 3 children within 19 months of age, including a set of twins. And back then, if I rewind for a moment, you know, they were all starting their schooling years. I was working in a full-time corporate job. My hubby was running our traditional business, and it was just life in the fast lane. But the fast lane for us, it wasn't the fun lane, because despite all of the things that we were doing, and we felt like we were doing all of the things expected of a young family, we were getting to the end of each week with not much left in the tank and not much left in the bank. And we hit quite a financially fearful time, which is scary as young parents, yeah? And if you top that off with me just feeling stagnant in my job that I was doing at the time, feeling like I was really losing myself, that voice, and just feeling like a failure. On top of all of that, we also had to make the decision to move back in with Ben's parents to get ahead in life. So just go back there. That's when I first did my first divine vision statement. So I did this class initially as a very scared woman, scared of what the future held, scared at the pace that my confidence and my energy was plummeting, scared of looking forward because I was only ever used to looking down at where I was, and also scared of success. So when I did this work, I just found it so impactful. Yeah, I just felt like I could breathe again. I felt like I'd been that hamster on a wheel, like Shani said, going round and round for years. And in this moment, I just gave myself permission to take that full breath. But here's the thing, I'm going to give you the real talk today. I did that first vision class. I wrote my divine vision statement in my own time after. I saved it to my computer, and I kind of thought to myself, you know what, that was pretty eye-opening. And I went straight back into life. And to be honest, I just thought maybe the vision statement might find a way into my schedule, you know, and I would just kind of pull it out when I felt like it or when I was in the mood. But 12 months went by, and I think I did that maybe 2 or 3 times. So I did it, but I didn't put it to work. And I was the queen back then of starting many things and never actually following through on any of them. And upon reflection now, you know, deep down, I was actually scared of my vision statement, because like Kira said, I had that undercurrent going on that was whispering to me very clearly that you're never going to achieve any of that. Don't tell anyone about it because you're probably going to fail. You know, you always have these big ideas, but you never follow through. Who am I to think this big? You're not good enough to do any of this. And maybe things would change if I actually brought this vision statement to life. And even though I was craving change because I was in pain, I was shit scared of change at the same time. And I also had a lingering fear of maybe if things get that good in life, that maybe something bad might happen. So the next year rolled around and I joined the masterclass again. But this time, right, I promised myself to use it. And I used it consistently for 12 months, hand on my heart, 3 or 4 times a week for 12 months. And it ignited it had this unimaginable power over me. And the more I used it, the stronger it got, right? So as Kira said, it would shift me into a state of alignment in the morning, first up in the morning. It would bring me back into alignment when life started to get a little bit wobbly. It would give me faith during those hard times when curveballs are thrown our way. And you know what? It kept me inspired and focused. And it was like this magnetic pull to actually put on the tool belt of life and start taking action. And that was the year that I really did take my power back. I owned the fact no one was coming to save me, right? It was no one's job to come and save me. And I finally got into the driver's seat of life. So, you know, that was also the year of my life when my eyes were open to the divine intelligence of our belief patterns, of the law of attraction, of our sub and superconscious mind. And I got to go to work on that undercurrent that I call like the silent handbrake in life, that niggling voice of doubt. And you know what? If you're like me and you've experienced that silent handbrake numerous times, it's like one foot on the accelerator and one foot on the brake, then get ready, because I'm about to hand over to Kate and Anne for an incredible session with you guys. But 4 years on, right, with a commitment to myself and my vision statement, my mindset work, life has transformed, guys, in all of those areas. And many parts of what I wrote on my very first vision statement, they've all come to life. And I've had to continually update it every 6 to 12 months. And I can just hand on my heart, just stand here before you today feeling so free and clear in all areas of my life. And even more importantly for me, I can say I'm confident, I'm worthy, and I know who I am. And it's been incredible to not just feel limitless and have my personal power back when it comes to my spirituality, my parenting, my health, my relationships, and my finances. But my husband said something to me when I started doing this work. He said, I love seeing you be you again. I love seeing you happy. And because we'd been through such a tough time, he just said, you know what, things are feeling different. And it just created this shift in me. And I wanted to do more of it. So it wasn't just what I wanted to create. I want you to understand the power of this also allowing you to create the who I was becoming along the way. So if you're ready for more, if you're ready to start receiving more, being more, creating more ease, abundance, flow, here's some of my tips on how to really activate this tool, all right? Once you have gone away from this masterclass today and you've completed your own divine vision statement, write it out. Please ensure you print a copy, right? Have the hard copy. Make it sacred as well. Take a little bit of time, put a little bit of effort into it, and maybe print it on some nice paper, right? Maybe you can put a smaller version in a frame or something like that, but make up a few copies. The second way that I love to bring this to life is create an audio version of your divine vision statement. So how do you do this, right? We all have one of these things, a phone, and basically every phone has the option for you to voice record and create an audio memo in your phone. I use an iPhone, and all you have to do is go to Utilities, Voice Memos, Record and Save. So you want to read your divine vision statement and be able to listen to it back in your voice. Super, super powerful. The third way that you can bring this to life is a short video clip. So creating your own life movie. Now, this is an option that I would only recommend as being a bonus or an additional option. I don't believe it replaces the power of the printed and the audio version. But I created the video last year and like super powerful, yeah? So for those of you that maybe have done this session for a few years and maybe you're looking to just amp up your statements and that influence to a deeper level, I use Mojo, is one of my favorite movie making apps, iMovie and Canva. And don't get caught up in overwhelm and technology and suddenly I've got to be a video producer to create this and make it work. You don't need to. There are just so many amazing apps where, you know, visually, I love the visualization. It lands in a different way where I can bring up photos of the vision and what I'm looking for, but I pull out words of each of the framework sections within the vision statement and just embed them into the clip. And then I bring that to life just with some deep music, you know, music from today's session on the Spotify list will be gifted to you as well, that just really lights up your own soul. So I use all three of those different methods, but my advice today is choose one and let it be, you know, one or two, with three just being the bonus for you. So when should you read or listen or watch it, right? How are we going to bring it to life once we've created it? So my best advice is when you're reading or listening to it, the twilights energetically are the most powerful time of day. So either first thing in the morning or last thing in the evening. I personally choose the mornings as it really allows me to step into my power and alignment very early in the day. But I'm a twin mama, right? I got 3 kids within 19 months of age, and it can still be very busy here in the morning. So if mum life gets in the way, it might be in the late afternoon, it might be in my lunch break. And my mantra is always done is better than perfect, okay? You can implement this as part of your journaling or maybe your current self-care routine. You can have it in your office or in a sacred space in your home, maybe on your bedside table. But try and always have it visible, right? Don't put it away in a cupboard. Try and always have it there and around you. You can have a laminated copy and actually pop it in the shower. I've actually done that, and it's beautiful when you're in the shower where you can actually read it in the shower. You can print a copy and put it on the back of the bathroom door. When you're doing some of the housework, so whenever I'm sitting there folding the 10,000 loads of washing baskets that always happen in my home each week, you know, I pop on my AirPods and I listen to the audio version of it. When the kids are in school, my non-negotiable is always to listen to it after I've dropped them off as well, because it's that moment where I've got, you know, 10 to 15 minutes in the car on my own. I'm also very good at being one for whenever I'm in the school pickup line. And I'm sure if there's lots of mamas on this call, you know what that feels like. Instead of scrolling, I will tune in and listen to the audio clip. You know, if you're out at the shops, if you're doing the food shopping, you can have it in. So there's so many different ways, and I've listed that all out in the workbook for you as well. So like anything though, right? It's a habit. And like any new habit, at first it's really going to take discipline. But the more you do it, the more magic you will feel. And the more that you're going to feel inspired to actually invest some time into this real powerful practice. So that brings me to my final point, like how often should you be doing this? Yeah, how often should we read it or listen to it or watch it? And consistency, right? The compounding effect of consistency is what creates power. So in my first year, right, that year that I decided to really play full out and take this thing to a new level, for me, it was a minimum of about 3 times a week, because I needed to start using that vision muscle, and because I was scared of it and it was pretty weak. And what happens when we go to a gym, right? The more we use our muscles, the stronger it's going to get. So some weeks though, if I was going through a challenging time and I felt myself drifting off course and I was having that wobble in life, and I still do, it was daily for me during those weeks. But my advice really here is, I want you to start with something that is realistic for you. What is a realistic goal for you, right? Is it once a week? Is it once a month? When in your schedule could you commit to actually using your divine vision statement? Are you in the car a lot? Do you enjoy a walk? You know, are you like me and you can sit down and have 5 loads of washing around you once a week, right? Can you maybe give up a bit of scrolling time for a little bit more vision time? I want to empower you guys here today to really be the master of your time with this beautiful conscious intention and focus as well. But before you get off this call today, I cannot stress highly enough how beautiful it is to get specific with yourself right now, right? It's not about you needing more time to do this, right? Don't buy into that overwhelm because you've learned, and you can see that today. That's just code for fear. I don't have enough time. There's just time, and you get to choose what to do with it. So you might even like to write down now in your workbook, right? I will complete my vision statement by this time, right? Some of you might spend some time this afternoon and write it. Some of you might need another week or so. You might say, I'm going to print it and I'm going to voice record it, or I'm just going to print it. But get specific with yourself right now. You might say, right, if Kimberly can do 3 times a week, maybe I'm going to start there. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to look at my diary and I'm going to pop it in on Sunday morning, Tuesday night, and Thursday morning. Get specific, right? But I also want you to write down the mantra next to that, that done is better than perfect. With that said, I would love to hand you over to the beautiful power couple that are going to take us through some incredible and magical work today. And that is the beautiful, I was going to say beautiful Kate and beautiful Anne Golay. Over to you guys.
Just beautiful Anne coming in hot. This has been mind-blowing, and I love to have got to be a part of this. I'm super mindful of time. We're back to Kimberly. Super mindful of time. I urge you, if you have the time, to stay on for just a brief few minutes, because I'd love you to pop into the chat. A 10 if you're just feeling like so inspired, so excited, like, oh my gosh, I've found the golden egg. If I just do this vision statement, my whole world will just come pouring in, and it's all ahead of me. And I want everyone to take a nice deep breath in and pop in an 8 if you also feel a sense of resistance to this. If you feel a sense of, yeah, but I mean, look at Kira, like, look at Shan, look at Kim, look at, like, they just got their shit together. Like, that's them. And I mean, the words, like, I didn't even pass year 10 English. Like, how am I going to write all those beautiful words? Like, this is the time that we're going to get really real, because I think the saddest thing is when you see this inspiration, this beauty, this like, wow, you're in spirit. And then these little voices come in and it's like, but you're not good enough. But what about what mum said? And all these things come in and rob us of our dreams. And thank you for your honesty, Lee. I do that. Guess what? We all do. And the only difference between the people who get on and do this is they don't allow it to become the story. But what I'd love to go through just in these brief few minutes is we're going to break down a little bit of the mechanics. You've had all this feminine butterfly rainbow energy. So I'm going to bring a little bit of black and white, just so you start to comprehend that this is not about you. And so the things that take you out of action and stop you doing the things that you know are going to create incredible results, it's not you. It's universal. We all do it. So we're going to go into a bit of neurophysiology. We're going to look at the 3 aspects of consciousness. And the first one is our self-conscious. It's our ego. It's our thinking mind. And the thing with this is it's there from about 4 years old through to now. It's our ego, it's our personality. And like we opened this masterclass, so many of us, we try and think our way through life. We think our way out of problems when it's such a small fraction of what life is all about. The second part of our consciousness is our unconscious. It's not less than, and this is our feelings. And the thing with this has been there since our birth. So from 0 to 4, right through to now. And I want to give you an idea of how important this is and how it's there for you. So with our unconscious, you think about if every time you stepped outside and you looked up and you went, oh, that big blue thing, oh, that's right, that's the sky. Oh, and that big metal thing going along, oh, that's, and you had to recollect every single time. So our unconscious puts these automated patterns in so that we can get on with life. And so they're there for you. So you make up beliefs about how life is for the benefit of you. So I'd love you to pop into the comments, who put the beliefs there? Who put the beliefs there to make life easier? Did some foreign person come along? No, you put the beliefs there. You put them there. And then we have this whole area of personal development and psychology that looks at these beliefs and go, they're limiting beliefs. Well, they weren't limiting when you put them there. They were there to help you get through that part of life. So you're going along and you have unconditional love from mum or dad, and you get home and you bring a report card or something like that, and you notice a change in physiology, you notice a change in energy towards you from your dad, and it's like, oh, I've never felt this before, but I just feel like love got taken away a little bit. And it may be real or not, but you make up in that moment that in order to be good enough, in order to be loved, I have to be studious or I have to get good grades. And then you're going through and you get to that weird age of prepubescence, and a boy might say something because he's full of hormones and just nothing's coming out the brain right. And he makes a comment and how you're not pretty or you're this, and that sticks. That like hits you in the heart so deep. And now all of a sudden you realize, oh, I have to be a certain way to be attractive. And, or even worse, there's the mean girls or the girls who get into a crowd and say something about you, and then that sticks. And it hurts, but it changes you being who you are. And so these are part of the beliefs that come up, how you decide how life is. And so here lies the challenge. When you set these beautiful visions, or you set a task to do this vision statement, and so you've got this thing out there. But what if these beliefs are coming up? And Shani covered some of them beautifully. And these are some of the reasons we don't do these processes. But one is, I'm not good enough. So I'd love you to pop a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, just intuitively, what do you resonate with to those unwanted beliefs? So I'm not good enough, Shani covered it. So people who do that, it's like they'll set big goals to prove I'm good enough. If I'm not worthy, I don't belong. So I want you to get really associated to that, because the resistance you felt coming up to either doing this process or stepping truly into that end result comes from these unwanted beliefs. But most of the time, they're running your life unconsciously. They're automated patterns. You have no idea what's happening, but then you wake up in a week or a month or 6 or 12 months or in 5 years, and you're beating yourself up of why things haven't changed. So we are going to crack the code on this. So I just want to share quickly how this works. So you've got your self-conscious down here. I wrote that too low. Self-conscious, which is your ego. If it's back to front, we're not going to deal with that now. And you're thinking about things, but you're aiming, and you're about to do this beautiful vision statement where you have this vision. You've got some, oh, that's too high as well. You've got this vision that you want to create. Now, as you start heading towards this, these unwanted beliefs are there. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy, I'm not capable, I've got to go do another course. And as you do that, what's going to happen? Are you going to continue to take the action? Either you do take the action, but this is now your identity. This is part of who you are. This is how you frame yourself. And if you actually go and achieve this, you're disproving these. And so in that sense, you're kind of making a liar out of yourself. And this is why people, who's ever self-sabotaged before? Like, you're on the way, like the man of the dreams is in front of you and you're there and you're dating, and then you do something dumb. And then you're like, why did I do that? Your business, it's in growth, and then you're about to hit some kind of promotion, and then you pull back. So that's the first thing. The second thing that happens is you hit it, but you minimize it. There's no joy, there's no gratitude. It's just like, you minimize it. So you don't get to feel the feelings and the love of hitting it. Even worse is this, and Shem touched on it beautifully. You look at it and go, oh, I can't do that because I'm a not good enough person, or I'm a not capable person. So you attach yourself to your identity and you're broken. And so then you're like, I'm going to go read a self-help book, then I'm going to do a course, and then I'm going to get a therapist, and I'm going to spend all my life doing this. Now that's fine, but is that going to take you closer to your vision? No, because now you're investing all of this time in here. So this is your unconscious. The beautiful thing is there's another part of our mind called the superconscious. And I love explaining this by, when you look at nature, and I love turtles. When you look at turtles and they're born on a beach and they've got no parental instruction. They're in a little shell, but somehow innately they know they've got to crack out of the shell, climb to the surface, try and get to the water. And there's no instruction. No one's telling them what to do, but they know innately that they've got to swim, and then they get back. They've traveled all over the planet and they get back to the same beach, the exact same spot, and go through the same process. Or you see all of these fish swimming in one direction, they like split simultaneously. You can't distinguish, they all go that way. And so there's this incredible field of information. And you think about just the beauty of a baby being born. When you look at a puppy, like there's just abundance. And this is what the super conscious is. Now, guess what? You can speak to your superconscious through intuition, through innocence, and you can ask the superconscious, saying, hey, this is what I'd love to create. And I'm so excited. If you guys did nothing else but got so clear on what it is that you want to create, it's going to be better than the old stuff that was going on in our mind, right? Of what we don't want to create. But if we keep running into this resistance, that's not good. If we go and try and fix the resistance, where energy goes, that's where your focus flows. And so now you're in that whole, I'm broken, I've got to fix me. But you can just speak to your superconscious and go, hey, do you notice the resistance to what I'd love to create? And of course, the superconscious knows, because it's an all-knowing field of information. And so you can just say, hey, I'd love you to just recode that, because this is really important to me now. And although this was important at that time of your life, because it allowed you to process the world and how it all works, this, as we recode the resistance, how would you like to move towards anything that you create just seamlessly? There's no resistance. It's not like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, self-sabotaging. And so that's what this little process will be that we're about to go through. So I would love you to think about where you are now. Right where you are, sitting there today, present time. And then close your eyes for a second and just go into, now I know you haven't done it yet, but imagine you having not just written this beautiful vision statement, but it's real. It's coming to life. You're experiencing, you're getting evidence of it on a daily basis. And just say, I choose to create this. Say it out loud, I choose to create this vision for my life. And just say, this is my truth. This is my true choice. And there is a moment of acknowledgement. Notice how you're connecting to the truth of it. And just with your eyes closed, acknowledge the truth of your choices. If you had pressed a fast forward button that now transports you to this moment in time, and it's created. So you find yourself right now in the moment that this choice is created. There's nothing more to do. There's nothing more to say. It's done. You have it. You are it. And just do your best to notice and connect into this moment in time where you are already it. You have it. So with your eyes closed, get into the moment, breathing in, breathing out, noticing how it feels to have that and to be that. And what are all the ways that you're experiencing this now? Who are the people that you're connected to? Where are you? And what's different now? Just open your eyes and come back to me. Go ahead and pop in the comments. How does it feel to be in your end result? A couple of words: emotional, great, free, amazing, very emotion, capable, I like that. Fun, calm, heartfelt, beautiful. Now, the question, when you step into the end result, what is the resistance? That number 8, what's that resistance? What are the beliefs? What are the thoughts, emotions that come up for you? And maybe pop into the comment, what are some of the beliefs that come up? Is there judgment of yourself? What is sparked into your awareness? Just observe. Overwhelm, doubt, fear, skeptic. And this right here, I'm so proud of you guys, because this is why this will be different. Because in the past, you've just like, we're doing it, and like, yeah, but you've got all these underlying emotions sitting there. And if we don't recode them and eliminate the resistance, you'll have a better future, undoubtedly. But if we can recode this simply, and it'll take us like 5 minutes. So hang with me, we're getting there. And what I'd love you to do is give it a number. And so if out of 10, what's your level of resistance to this? So 10 is like, man, I'm swimming upstream. 1 is I'm just ready to go for it. So type in the comment and just take a little note of it, what your resistance to doing this is. And so what are the identities that come up? Is there rejection? Is there failure? So we're just going to go through a little setup here. And then if you give me permission, we'll connect with your superconscious, have a little conversation. And you just get to sit back and allow. You just get to allow your superconscious. You have to go fix this stuff because you were never broken. It's just going to recode it. And then we'll come back and we'll see what the level of resistance is. And I think most of you will be really pleasantly surprised. So have you ever seen those little furry animals, like they're gophers, and they dig up out of the ground, they make a little pile of dirt. I want you to imagine that the active experience of your life is a playing field. And so your active experience is where you're playing life. And I want you to imagine you're playing a game of football, and that is life. But I want you to imagine you're going to help pull these gophers up and out of the ground. And these gophers, they're the traumas. Okay. These are the traumas. These are the beliefs that don't support you anymore. What we're going to do is treat them. They're just going to come out, they're going to run away and be free. And then we'll just go over and we're going to smooth over gently with a feather all the dirt that's come out so you can keep playing the game of life. And that's what it's going to be like. We're just going to help them come out and they're going to go away. And so they'll come out in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and we'll just carry on. We'll just keep playing, and that's what's going to happen. It's very easy. It's meditative. You don't really have to do anything, and you are in control. So if it's scary for you, just to take a deep breath in, you don't have to do anything. And this is the thing. Let me just pre-frame this. Your superconscious is there to look after you. So if you've got things that are big, it's like just a boulder in a river of desire. So where you are and you've got this desire, and if a boulder is big, it will just chip away at it in little pieces. So you're never going to have your superconscious do anything to harm you, and you're always in control. And so the resistance is too big. It'll just be small instances, might be a boulder limiting the flow. Okay. So your superconscious can remember, this is the coolest thing. Your superconscious can remember all the boulders that have been put there and can change it in the perfect way and in the perfect order. Okay. So all we're going to do is connect to your superconscious and observe and ask some questions. And so if you just go ahead and close your eyes. And so is it okay to connect to your superconscious and to create a treatment for more satisfaction in life? Just close your eyes. You don't have to say yes out loud or in the comments, just say it in your heart. Just breathe into your heart as you close your eyes. And just in your heart, say, Anthony has permission to connect with my superconscious. Superconscious, are you there? Superconscious, are all parts ready to join the treatment team? Good. So superconscious, I want you to bring into the active experience all aspects of resistance to this true choice, this true vision statement, this true vision for your life. Superconscious, I want you to find, tag, and treat all aspects of resistance to this chosen end result. Superconscious, do you see the resistance towards this result? Superconscious, please treat this resistance in the perfect way and in the perfect order, and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Thank you. Superconscious, do you see the resistance around beliefs? The belief that I am not good enough. I'm not perfect. I'm not worthy. Superconscious, please treat this resistance in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history and everything. Just keep breathing through the process. Stay connected to your heart. Superconscious, do you see the part personalities around being the pleaser, as well as the body system chakras around the throat chakra and speaking truth, speaking what's on your heart? Please treat the resistance to this in the perfect way and perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, can you see the resistance around the emotions of guilt? past, present, future, guilt as a mum. Superconscious, can you see the resistance around the feminine energy and the feminine energy being supposedly weak? Superconscious, can you please treat the resistance to this in the perfect way and the perfect order and do a massive change history and everything? All right, just keep breathing there, eyes closed. So superconscious, do you see this desire now, this desired result, this beautiful vision? Just step into that result that you have chosen and be there now. And what would it like to be there now and to have that? How would it feel if you already had this? As you continue to breathe in, can you make this feel even more intense? How good would it be being fully connected to this vision? Now, being in this space, I want you to take a look back over your shoulder to your current day self, sitting there, meditating now. And I want you to acknowledge your current day self, sitting there, setting out on this journey to where you are right now. And I want you to send a loving, powerful beam of light from your heart to the heart of your current day self. This beam of love and gratitude and appreciation. And on that beam of light, I want you to send some information. Answer yourself that question. What is the obvious next action step for your current day self to move closer to your vision that you're already experiencing as established? What is the obvious next action step? Send this information to your current day self on that beam of light, back, all the way back to your heart of your current day self. And just notice what is the obvious next action step. Superconscious, please reinforce this desire with positive beliefs, positive memories, and ground all memories we have touched today. Memories 1, 2, and 3, self, unconscious, and superconscious, past events, emotions, past memories into the matrix of the universe for more satisfaction in life. As you take another breath in, you can just come back with your eyes open and how you're feeling. So I'd love everyone to pop into the comments. How are you feeling? And I love this. Notice people aren't elated, calm, connected, relaxed. One of the most challenging things when people do a hoo-ha kind of goal setting, they're in elation, okay? And what goes up must come down. The other thing I'd love you to do is pop into the comments, what is your resistance now? I'd love you to do 2 numbers. What was your resistance to what it is now? 4 to 2, 0, 8 to 3, 1, 1, 6 to 5, 7 to 2, 5, 8 to 2. Beautiful. And this is all within you. And so as we wrap this up and put a beautiful little bow around today, it's action that's going to make this happen. And so I can sit here all day and tell you, I'm a stand-up person. I'm a stand-up person. Here I am. I'm a stand-up person. And my brain is going, you're sitting down. What? You're sitting down. And so if you've got this big, like, I'm a vision person, but you're not taking action towards it, that doesn't work. And so it's vision and action, vision and action. And so I just want to applaud you. It's been, gosh, 3.5 hours that you've invested into you, but it's not just you. You know, I love the highlight of the ripple effect that this has on your children and generationally. Okay, and we touched on it briefly today between Shani and Kira and myself, but generationally, what's happened and the processes that you're doing between the vision statement and the recode, that stops here. All this burden, all this pain that you've been carrying, it's not yours. It's things from the past that you just get to let go. And has the day been hard? It's not hard. It's just allowing, okay, and knowing a few pieces of technology to do that. So those of you who have stayed on the line, I am going to do a random scroll. That's how I'm going to do this. We had a random number generator that I'm going to scroll through and choose someone who has stayed till the end. And then you get to choose who you'd love to do a one-on-one session with from the presenters. So I'm going to close my eyes and hit scroll. Oh, it didn't work. You do the scroll. Boom. It's Amy McKenzie. Amy McKenzie, congratulations. Well done. So I'm not sure if you're a part of the community or you're a guest, but just connect with who invited you along. And then you can let them know who you'd love to do a little session with. And then on Wednesday, we're going to reconvene. And the recode that we did today was about just taking the action to do the vision statement. All right. And so this is my promise to you, if you do the vision statement and you've got it done, you're going to get the most out of the follow-up call. Because if you arrive and kind of things got busy and I didn't quite get to it, I'm there just for entertainment and to listen again, you've got to go do the work. So you've got a few days to go do that. So do as much as you can, because then that's going to allow us to answer your questions, but to actually step properly into it. And if there's time, we can do another little recode on that night. So I'm going to hand back over to Kira, because this is really her baby. And just thank her for having us all be a part of this.
Thank you. I thought you were wrapping up, but thank you. Look, last year it was such a magnificent masterclass, but just the total elevation of including, you know, the wisdom that we've all collectively learned since last year and other incredible leaders. It's just been amazing. I feel so lit up and grounded and calm and excited for the year ahead. It's caused me to come back to disciplines and make sure that I'm embodying this wisdom on a deeper level. So whatever concerns you have, confusions, come and get those answered on Wednesday, because we were all there at one stage and sometimes we still have those same thoughts and feelings. So I just want to encourage you to lean into the knowledge that we are so human and so approachable, and we want to be on this journey with you. We will email out the details of that reconvene call. And so what I encourage you to do between now and then is to go back through your workbook, put on some beautiful music that gets you into flow, and just go back through each exercise and see if there's any more thoughts that flow for you before you come to crafting your statement. And remember to do it in a way that feels good for you. So don't be overwhelmed by all of the words that I like to use. Just, you know, stay true to you and short and simple. If that works for you for now, remember it's something that evolves and grows over time. So thank you so much to all of the leaders who invested all of your love and energy and care and support here, and supporting me in this beautiful journey, and everyone on the call. Is there anything else that anyone wanted to share before we wrap up? No, we're good to go. I hope you guys have the most incredible, magic, beautiful afternoon, and that you just allow this energy to continue into your day and your week. And remember, the future is exciting. Thanks, everyone.